Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the evil that men do. Father God, I pray and ask that you help me to have mercy on others the same way I would want you to have mercy on me. Father God, I also ask that you help me to be quick to forgive and slow to get angry. Amen, amen, amen. These young dudes out here don't respect shit until you put the barrel in their ear and let the text spit. I just might catch a case on my next hit, remove their whole face on some special effect shit. So show respect, Drake, or I'ma have a flashback. Digging through the dresser like fuck it, where my mask at? The mash back with the banger and damage shit and say fuck everything I learned in anger management. Hop back on some east side managed shit and push a nigga's top back when I let the cannon spit. Start planning shit, premeditation. I'm in love with the streets again, rededication. Casket or cremation when I shoot you down. I was built for the smoke like a hookah lounge. I keep big shit that sound like a bazooka sound, and I shoot quicker than ain't gotta be a hoop around. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with the 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Gun on me, it ain't never for show. Homie, I'm far from a bully, but I'm never a hoe. Get out of line, my Beretta will blow. Real talk, we can take the beef wherever we go. I bring it to your front door like I'm Uber Eats. I guarantee you listen up when this Ruger speaks. Plus I maneuver through these streets like a ghost, and I'm handy with the heat, I cook a nigga like a roast. On me, homie, this is not a boast. I will still come through, boy, and stop a nigga's post. Play him close, man, Eric will ease it. Quickly off the waistband, man, and Eric will squeeze it. Leave you niggas laid out dead or paraplegic. Niggas playing in these streets while I'm very strategic. I come to your house dressed like the gas man. Shoot you 9 times, leave you stretched by the trash can. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with the 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. I don't put shit on Facebook, I just holler in person. Put the pistol in your mouth while you holler and cursing. All that shit you kept rehearsing and put on your live. Got your clap with the big 4-5. You bitch nigga, if you tell me to pull up, I'ma do that. That nigga who was whooping first nigga that I shoot at. Ski mask on my face, bystanders be like, who that? I ain't with the talking, bitch boy, I thought you knew that. Leave his brains where my shoe at and bounce like I'm on a trampoline. Leave you laid out, nigga, like you camping on the scene. If you want something sweet, grab a peach or tangerine. Niggas won't smoke, well fuck it, I'ma let them handle steam. AR with the beam, you see the red dot? We tug on this trigger, nigga. It'll make your head pop. Blood pouring down to your shoes, call it Red Sox. Your brains hanging all over your shoulders like some dreadlocks. Expect the gang of dead off if they ever cross the line. The Lord said in the Bible, oh, revenge is mine. So I'm just trying to find a righteous path between the two. Before I lose control and do the shit I used to do. This being humble shit is new. I'm trying to turn the other cheek, but I ain't never been a bitch, so watch your mouth when you speak. Your mercy's what I seek, so I pray on bended knees. Don't let me get the K with the extended clip and squeeze. Lord, please. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with the 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps.
All right, y'all, that's Brother Eric. Brother Eric. What's happening, everybody, man? Glad to have y'all in the building, man. Glad to have y'all in the building. Let's see. Let me do some stuff for Brother Eric. Brother Eric, you can go to his page, 16tolife.com. 16 to Life, the YouTube page. You can go to his YouTube page and go get some good stuff out over here at 16 to Life. Funny stories, man. Good dude. Inspirational stories. Y'all know the deal on Brother Eric, man. Go on over to 16 to Life if you haven't already. Subscribe to him. Page is exploding out there, man. So go on over there and check out Brother Eric. Okay. All right. That's Brother Eric. Shout out to Brother Eric. We do have his permission to use this music. All right. Let's see what else we got going on, y'all. Let's see what else we got going on. Ooh, ouch. Okay. First thing we're gonna do is see who's in the building. Shout out to Jill's Chocolate Boutique. Jill's Chocolate Boutique in the building. Glad to have you in the building, sis. Glad to have you. Thank you for stopping by. Jill says, like always, she goes to church and then she'll be back. Okay. Shout out to Jill. Who else in the building? My sister, my tour sister, Sister Annie Kenya. I'm sorry, Sister Annie. I'm sorry. Inenia, right? But you know, I'm gonna call you Sister Annie. You're always my beloved Sister Annie. Shout out Sister Annie. And also got my other tourist brother. So all of us, the three tourists together, we back again. We black again, Brother Anderson. Anderson the Great. Shout out to Anderson the Great in the building. Telling y'all, if y'all ask us, Tauruses, we the best people in the world, man. We are, or at least we up there with them. We up there with the best people in the world, man. We gonna treat you good, man. Just don't treat us crazy, man. We just gonna go on you, man. But shout out to you, Brother Anderson. Glad to have you in the building, my brother. Good to see you again. What about our brother, our Tel Aviv brother from our brother all the way from Tel Aviv, Brother Magoda. Shout out to Brother Magoda in the building, man. Shout out to Brother Magoda in the building. All right, I think that's everybody that's in the building, man, that wants to be acknowledged. So we got to think about the stream we did yesterday. Ay. If y'all don't, and what I'm gonna do is see. I was searching around for all of this stuff about Jesse, and I was like, duh. I was looking at the replay this morning. I said, duh, dummy, you have a whole video that you did on Jesse, where you basically opened up all this stuff. Why didn't I just go to that video? So I might touch on that video today, man. You know what I mean? Shout out to Anton. Shout out to Jesse Lee Peterson. But Jesse Lee has some real serious problems, man. I couldn't believe that he was actually saying that on live TV, man. Couldn't believe it, man. But you know what? Shout out to him, man. Hopefully God can help that man. That man has some serious problems, man. Serious self-esteem problems. Serious. And he really needs to have God touch him. And so if God could touch a guy like me, he can work with a guy like Jesse, man. So we just hope and pray that Jesse gets that eye-opening moment where he just will just come out and admit to his proclivities to homosexuality. Just admit it. Stop running around here lying and acting like you ain't doing it, and then lying, saying that the people that are very credible people are out here saying, you out here saying you ain't doing it, and these people are very credible, man. They're very credible. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing, man. That's a whole nother thing. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. Right now, man, we gotta move out. Why we gotta move out, Clarence? Because Patrice show is on at 2 p.m. Pacific, man. So that only gives me 3 hours to get it done, man. So we got to get it done in 3 hours, y'all. All right, and Sister India, always gonna keep track of me, help me to make sure that we do everything we're supposed to do. All right, y'all. So let's get right to the news, man. We got a big show today. We got to get right to the news. All right, let's see. What is the news, man? What's the news? What's the big news that I want to talk about today? Let's see. This is it right here. Okay. Man arrested in fatal shooting of Migos rapper Takeoff. Houston, a 33-year-old man was arrested on a murder charge in the shooting of a rapper Takeoff, who police on Friday said was an innocent bystander when he was struck by gunfire outside a Houston bowling alley. See, You know what I'm saying? Them bullets don't be like, hey, oh, you innocent bystander. Hey, I'm not gonna mess with you. You know what I'm saying? You an innocent bystander. Let me go around you. Them bullets don't do that, man. Them bullets run straight to the whoever's by, whoever's in the path. Whoever's on that path, that's where them bullets are going, right? So what am I saying? Why am I saying this, Clarence? Clarence, why are you saying this? Because you got to watch where you're going. You got to watch who you associating with. You got to watch who you dealing with, man. You can have stuff happen to you by just being where you're not supposed to be, or just being someplace with sideline dudes, right? Sideways acting dudes, right? Anyway, Patrick Xavier Clark was taken into custody peacefully Thursday night. Houston police say Troy Feener said. Who's the police chief? Troy Feener said. I guess this is the police chief. Clark's arrest came one day after another man was charged in connection with the November 1 shooting, which authorities said followed a dispute over a dice game and wounded 2 other people. A dice game. $1 million entertainer is playing a dice game in the hood behind a bowling alley. I guess intelligence is not, or smarts ain't one of the things that you gotta have. That's not one of the boxes you gotta check off to be a multimillionaire. Sometimes even multimillionaires do things, man, it doesn't make no sense. Why would a guy that's making $multi-million be in a dice game, right? Because I gotta show you that I'm still, what do you call that? Keeping it real. I'm staying on code. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to definitely talk about today. Clark was being held in jail Friday awaiting a bond hearing. Court records do not list his attorney who could speak for him, but indicate he was arrested. He was preparing to leave the country for Mexico. Viva Mexico! Born Kirshnik Kari Ball. Takeoff was the youngest member of Migos, the Grammy-nominated group trio from suburban Atlanta that also featured his uncle Quavo and his cousin Offset. The 28-year-old musician was shot outside the downtown bowling alley at 2:30 a.m. What good is going on outside of your house at 2:30 a.m.? Holy smokes, man! And you know what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily blaming him for him getting shot. I'm blaming him for being in the place where he shouldn't be, and his people for not saying, "Hey, bro, you ain't got nothing to prove, man. Being in a dice game, you ain't got nothing to prove, man." But see, you know what? You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to still prove that they a hood dude, right? Everybody got something to prove. I'm a hood dude. I'm still hood. I got these millions of dollars, and I can maneuver how I want, but I got to prove to y'all I'm still from the hood. So I'm gonna jump in this dice game. Anyway, when police said a dispute erupted, more than 30 people were leaving a private party there. Police previously said another man and a woman suffered non-life-threatening gunshot injuries, and that at least 2 people opened fire. Holy smokes. Police Sergeant Burrow said during a Friday news conference that the gunfire followed a disagreement over a lucrative game of dice, but that Takeoff was not involved and was an innocent bystander. Finney said police do not know whether Clark was invited to the party or if he knew Takeoff. Every person at the scene left without talking to police, Burrow said, but some of the people since have been located by authorities who have also worked to piece together events with ballistics, video and audio recordings, according to Burrow. He said investigators are still trying to track down witnesses. We will be looking for you. We will be looking to find you, he said. It will be easier if you come to us. Or when the authorities announced the arrest of Cameron Joshua in connection to the shooting. This the dude that probably starts singing like Anita Baker, right? Was charged with illegally having a gun at the time Takeoff was shot. But prosecutors said the 22-year-old is not believed to have fired the weapons. Christopher Downey, Joshua's attorney, told reporters that he has not seen anything to suggest his client was involved in Takeoff's killing. Burrow said that investigators believe it was Clark's gunfire that killed the rapper. Prosecutors said on Friday the court is set Clark's bail at $1 million. Yikes. Arguing he is a flight risk. Yeah, he was on his way to Mexico. Yeah. After Takeoff shooting, Clark applied for an expedited passport by submitting the itinerary for an imminent flight to Mexico, according to court records. They say he was arrested on the day he received the passport and was in possession of a large amount of cash. Yeah. Let's see. Migos first broke main city bomb in the week 6 takeoff. These last rocket and Quavo put out only built for Infinity Links. Takeoff hoped that the joint album would build respect for his lyrical ability, telling the Drink Champs podcast it's time to give me my flowers. As Class Rex was announced Friday, Takeoff's voice can be heard again, featured on Field of Fire, along with A$AP Rocky on Metro Boomin's album released that day, Heroes and Villains. He sang it quiet now in the streets. Yay. All right, y'all. So that's there's a rest for Takeoff. There's a rest for Takeoff, and Takeoff is unfortunately, young man lost his life, but it's a lesson for all of us, man. You gotta watch where you're going, man. You gotta watch where you're going, watch what you're doing. You gotta watch how you move in these streets. You gotta move in these streets. Brother Anderson said he don't like mans no more. Jesse likes women. We shall see. Time will tell, brother. We shall see. Time will tell. Pagoda says, what are you talking about, man? And he said the time in Israel is 21:24, so it's 9:24 at night, right? Hey, bro, that's not our fault, Pagoda. Hey, it's not our fault, man. But we only gonna do things as we can, man. Shout out to New Growth, by the way. Now New Growth in the building. Shout out to New Growth. Pagoda said, I wish you all have Merry Christmas and Happy Ramadan to the owner of the channel. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you there. Ramadan Kareem. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for that, man. Appreciate you, man. Happy Hanukkah to you as well. All right, let's see. New Growth said he wasn't in the game, brother Clarence. It doesn't, see, that's what I'm saying, New Growth. It doesn't matter that he wasn't in the game. He was there. You know what I'm saying? He was there. So if you're there, you know what I mean? At some point, man, we got to start taking responsibility for where we go and who we hang with. Okay, so he was there. He was at the party, right? A New Growth, did he really have to be in the back behind the alley in a dice game? Did he really have to do that? He didn't have to do that, man. It was totally unnecessary, right? Easily be avoided. Being back there in the middle of some dice game with some Negroes off the street easily could have been avoided. Easily. But New Growth said, but let's be honest, we know that the entertainment industry business happens at night. True indeed. True indeed. That's why it's such a devilish environment. Let's not blame the victim. I'm not blaming bro. Not blaming the victim. But if I don't tell people, New Growth, if I don't tell people, watch how you moving, then other guys will think they can go do the same thing, and I won't get shot. I have to put into the mind of the people that where they go matters. Who you hanging with matters. If you hanging with suckers, man, at some point these suckers gonna get you caught up in some drama, right? Nuba said they said the same about Nipsey the day in his town in his strip mall. I can't say the same thing. See, I didn't say that. I can't say the same thing for Nipsey, man, because Nipsey was not involved in no drama, right? He was just in his own spot, and the dude came, That's a random thing. Nipsey didn't put himself in a position like that, right? He was at his store doing his business, and that can happen too. Somebody could just come up to you at your house and ring the doorbell and do something nefarious, right? Happens every day to people. I can't blame you for that. You're in your own house. You're at your own spot. You're at your own place of business. How can we blame you for that? But I'm saying we can't see. This is what I'm talking about. Staying on code. Okay, so let's say I stay on code, New Growth. I say, hey, that's a bad thing that happened to him. You should be able to go and be in a Dykes game at 2:30 a.m. behind the alley of a of a bowling alley in the hood at 2:30 at night, and it should be no problem. But is that the reality? Is that the reality? Am I teaching the reality or am I teaching the fantasy? Oh, my brothers! I forgot. I forgot, man. I forgot this. Hey, I got you right now, Rico. I got you right now, bro. Hold on one second. I thought I had done it, man. I thought I had done it. Okay. Let me send Rico the link, y'all. Let me send Rico the link real quick. Can I send Rico the link? I know y'all want to beat up on Rico, man. Rico hasn't been around in a while. Let me send you the link, Rico. Hold tight. Let me see you send you, Patrice and Martin the link, man. Let's see. Yeah, let me send you the link, man. Yeah, I thought I had sent you guys the link yet, but I hadn't, right? Let's see. I got everybody on the list. There it is. And here we go. That's it right there. Got it. There you go, brother. Yeah, man, but this is the thing. New Growth said, not you, brother. I said people said he shouldn't have been there. Yeah, I know, New Growth, I know. But what I'm saying is, I know you're not saying I said that, but I'm just saying I know people probably did say that, right? They said, hey, you got money. Why would you open up a business in the hood? No. But see, that's different, man. Shout out to Von Bryan, by the way, man. Shout out to Von Bryan. Shout out to Rico Young. Shout out to everybody, man. But anyway, why would you open up a business in the hood? Well, in his mind of Nipsey, he was trying to create jobs, right? He was trying to start small. I can hire only one or two people here at my shirt, my clothing thing. But then if I build it and I build it and I build it, it'll build up, right? That makes sense, right? That makes sense. I'm talking about putting yourself in a dice game in an alley, behind a bowling alley in the hood at 2:30 a.m. with a bunch of Negroes. With a bunch of wolves. There ain't no rules out there, man. These dudes are savages. There ain't no rules out there. You saying all black people savages, Clint? No, not all black people. Just the kind of people that's going to be in a dice game at 2:30 a.m. behind an alley in the hood. That's a normal person ain't gonna do something like that. Just the risk of something bad happening, the normal person gonna do the risk assessment and say this is not worthy. Now, let alone a multi-millionaire, right, with a thriving business. What do I need to prove? But we're gonna talk about that. See, we're gonna talk about, man, why do we think we got to stay on code with some of this stuff, man? What do we have to prove? We're gonna get to that, man. But that's a good question, New Growth. Thank you. Good questions, man. Sister Annie said, I thought it was a bowling alley or something like that. Yeah, it was a bowling alley, sis. He was behind the bowling alley in the hood. They went to what happened? They went to some kind of, I don't know, it was an album release party or some type of celebration that they went to this bowling alley in the hood, right? And you know how hood dudes do it. They can only handle not being hood for so long, man. They chilling, they in the thing, and then a couple of them start straying out to go get involved in some nefarious behavior, right? A dice game, right? So that's what happened. They went in the back, and so if you know.
What's the joke? What's the joke? I don't know what's so funny. You better get in the spirit. Get in the spirit.
Oh man.
Bad Santa, alive and well.
Man. Oh man. Hey, Mr. Elf, they ain't let you drink Coronas on the at the workshop?
I'm on my break.
Those toys gonna come out crooked.
I'm on break.
How you been, man? How you doing, brother?
I'm still here, in spite of a lot of wishes. I see your hard-headed ass did a long one last night. I like it was good work though, man. It was real good work.
Brother, thank you. You know what happened, Rico?
I
know
told
me,
you about
man.
them extra days,
I try not to, man. But when I heard Jesse Lee Peterson say that we need more white children because they're the only ones that can make things fair, I lost my mind, bro.
Yeah.
I said I got to go up, right?
Yeah.
I said, man, this is terrible.
It was great work.
Thank you, brother.
But great work. Great. Even with the people who came. Be Easy, OG, New Grove. I mean, knocked it out the park.
Always.
And then I don't know if you saw Amawale's. I was watching a little bit of his this morning. I hadn't gotten into it, and he really laid into their ass.
Oh, really? He got him too? Okay.
Oh yeah. He did his yesterday too. He probably went harder at Anton, which I kind of agree with, than he did at Jesse Lee because, like I said, Jesse Lee is Jesse Lee. He's just so far gone. It's like, how do you even expect anything else out of him? But, and I hate to say it, both of them ignorant as hell. Don't neither one of them even know what they're talking about. It was just crazy. So I was like, you know what? I'm glad somebody else is doing it. So I don't even have to open my mouth. But
at least Anton will go to CNBC and or go somewhere and get the information and come and bring it back. Jesse Lee Peterson.
That nigga was sitting up there lying too. I don't know why you sitting there giving him any space and the context that he kept talking about.
On the Dr. Phil show,
and black people not being able to have kids. That was just so fucked up. It was beyond the pale. And then again, you in the same breath, you hollering you Christian. I'm like, man, miss me with this bullshit. Just miss me. Just sit down and shut up. I'm Christian, but none of you niggas can have kids. I'm like, it's just crazy,
Like I said, man, there's a German guy that was running Germany back in the 40s that kind of pretty much saying the same thing. Right?
And I'm like, and just like I don't believe anything that come out of either one of their mouths. They're just liars and they're full of shit. They just are. And then to sit there on Dr. Phil and say that. When did that air? Do anybody know?
I don't know. I tried to look for the actual footage. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, because I'm like, is that? Please tell me that's from 10 years ago or something. Oh my God! But I think it's recent.
Oh yeah, it's recent.
And I think you know what's so crazy about it?
What's that?
And it's true, and this is what really pisses me off the most. Dr. Phil and his casting, those shows, they have people that go out and bring guests on. They don't just pick your ass up out of the dark.
Right.
They knew what those two ignorant black coons was gonna come and say.
Of course.
They knew. They knew.
Course.
So I'm like, they laughing at us.
That's why they brought them on.
And they laughing at us, and those two fools went up there and did their biggest minstrel step in the shit that they talk. For all the intelligent black people, hundreds of thousands of them, they could have brought up, they chose, and it's only because you got people like that who will knock themselves out to tear us down.
Yeah.
To tear us down. And it was just disgusting, embarrassing. And again, it pisses me off because I'm like, Nobody's ever saying that we don't have any problems. But hell, we got the same problems that everybody else got.
Yeah.
So Jesse Lee Peterson say he want more white kids born. What if they're all born in the trailer park?
So don't matter.
They white.
Still better.
You see what I'm saying?
You got the ruckus. You got that ruckus complex. They still better.
That whole idea, and his little fat ass sitting there hollering about some bonnet. I'm like all black women running around wearing bonnets and shit, and 3 and 4 kids. He disgustingly portrays all black women just because they're black at the lowest common denominator, and it's so unfair because you're completely throwing away the top 70-80% of us who don't behave in that way. So you can't sit there and constantly say that the worst of the worst represents the whole.
Right.
It's disgusting. And a lot of poor people, I know some poor parents who are great parents. Poverty makes your job of parenting harder, but it doesn't make it impossible.
Right.
People have been great parents, poor since the founding of this fucking country.
Yep.
It's like, it's crazy. They could be so fucking stupid.
You know what, man? But like I said, if you listen to the show, I was saying that if you multiply out what he's saying, it doesn't stand up. It won't
you don't
stand
even
up.
have to multiply. Just the words that come out their mouth. It's like, it just makes you want to punch them in the fucking mouth when they talk that stupid. You can't, I can't sit in the room or listen to that, because that's some shit that I would smack the taste out of one of my kids for saying. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't give thought like that any type of respect, because it doesn't deserve any type of respect when people are talking. First of all, they're speaking that disrespectful. When they just come out and make these claims based on nothing. There's zero evidence to substantiate. First of all, Jesse Lee Peterson is just a fucking lunatic.
Man.
He's just stupid. I mean, the things he said, it's like, no, he's just saying, just shit on black. Shit. The thoughts in his head is shit on black, shit on black, shit on black, praise white, shit on black, shit on black, shit on black, praise white, shit on black, shit on black, shit on black, praise white. It's just anything black he has to shit on. Period. It's just a constant thing. Yeah. So the thoughts don't even make any sense. He's the only president he hates is who?
Barack
Obama. But he loved every last one of the rest of them. You see what I'm saying? So when people come from that perspective, you just punch him in the face. Just get him in arm distance and knock his fucking teeth down the back of his throat. Because he's ridiculous.
Rico, you can't be mad. You can't get violent with somebody just because you don't agree with them.
Yeah, we can. We used to do that all the time in the hood. We do that all the time in the hood. Well, it's not a disagreement. That's not even a disagreement, Clarence, the things he said. And I'm not pushing, don't get me wrong, I'm not pushing or proposing violence. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't be upset if somebody did it. I am not pushing that. That is not my proposal, my ideology. I would not be upset if somebody did it. And I would not be surprised. I also wouldn't be surprised because it's highly offensive.
I wouldn't be surprised either. I agree with you on that one.
And you got to also understand some of the things they're saying. They say it in a slick way that like it can cause harm to other people too.
Yeah.
You know, you're out here just proposing all kinds of just ridiculous ideology. Oh, poor and black people shouldn't be able to have kids. So all of a sudden, well, what if somebody decided they want to follow up on that and say, hey, you know what? They're right. Let me do something about it.
Yeah, Margaret Sanger, right?
So my thing is when they, when they do and just espouse those things and they know they're not being serious. That's probably the part that makes me mad the most. Is
they're serious.
They're not being serious. They're just doing it for money.
Oh man, they serious.
No, they're not serious. It's a hustle.
I'm not saying it ain't a hustle either. It's a hustle too. But I'm telling you, Jesse Lee Peterson, that dude is serious.
Jesse Lee Peterson needs to be fucking committed.
Definitely. Absolutely.
He needs to be committed.
Absolutely. 100% agree.
And why would anybody feel like that? And my thing is every time someone gives him a voice or even an ear, you're giving credit to the things he say.
Shout out to Wally too.
You know what I'm saying? So even when people listen to it, I'm like, why y'all keep going on this platform? If he don't have nobody to talk to because nobody won't listen to him, he'll eventually shut up. Because that's when he'll realize, okay, I just can't keep saying these things because people won't, obviously, good people won't accept it. But everybody wants to do this. Well, let's hear him out. No.
Well, see, he started out like Candace Owens. I'm just, supporting the Republican Party. And
he's
then
so
what happened?
Far gone.
That's what I'm saying. He slid so far.
And we got somebody that been in these streets the same way. We got a little Jesse Lee too.
Oh, we do?
CT.
I would say he's not as bad.
He on that same team.
He's on the same track. Yeah, definitely.
He's not the head coach, and he ain't the starting quarterback. He's the backup.
Yeah.
He's the backup. Definitely. And again,
now I will say it's a hustle for him. I don't think
it's a hustle for Jesse Lee, just like it's a hustle for Candace.
Yeah.
And they don't care at whose expense it comes. And so people go, oh, you can't knock a hustle. Yes, the fuck you can. If you know, because that thing, though the statements that they make, they lend support to people who then certain local and state authorities policies, they will sit there and enact policies that's against us. And the first thing they're going to say is, well, Candace said, or Kanye said, or Jesse Lee Peterson said, because people have uplifted them and given these people a place of prominence. So that's what they do, is they're going to use anybody who sit there when I put out my racist ass policy. Oh, there's my African American. You see what I'm saying? Right. There's my African American that I can point to that supports this shit.
Right.
That's what they're gonna do. So the same way, like you said, that was the big thing. Like I said, he loved getting those African Americans to come. And it's not just him, it's a whole bunch of people. I'm like, this shit is even, you got the guy in Florida, you got people all over this country, you got organizations. So I say when policy, that's why the whole drumbeat against CRT. Oh, see, I'm like, all of a sudden, now so teaching history about slavery is a boogeyman. Hey, everybody talking about CRT, and people are winning elected, and school boards are, and like even here in Virginia, when they couldn't find any CRT, now they couldn't find any CRT, they're having a big hoodoo because they're now telling them, don't teach kids in grade school about slavery because they make the white kids feel bad.
Right.
That's who they actually they couldn't find what they were looking for, so they found something that was similar to it and then used it as an excuse. And that's because, see, again, you have these certain voices who are out there celebrating all this, especially the black faces, celebrating the anti-blackness. And it's like, hey, they even they don't want CRT.
Well, I mean, you're right, Rico. But for right now, we got to get there's no link. Excuse me, right now, but this is a Sunday show. We don't put the link out for at least an hour or so because we got to go through all these stories. So you guys just sit back and listen to us. If you got a question or something, put it in the comment section. All right, we got to move on.
One about the young kid that deleted his mom.
I saw that, man. I was going to do something about that, but I said, no, you know what? Maybe maybe we might talk about that today.
I'm not sure, but I was trying to look up to see a picture of him. I don't know yet, but I seen a couple of thumbnails. I'm like, oh God, please tell me it's not one of ours.
No, man. I think it is.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I was like, oh, Jesus.
But we'll look into that, Rico. We'll look at it. We got to go because, Patrice coming on it too. And so we got to get moving. All right. So this is the hit parade, y'all. With the hit parade. So this is an ugly one. Let me go through this one real quick. Gymnastic coach arrested for indecency with a child. Has Houston connection. Oh, man. Let me play this.
Multiple counts of indecency with a child. Investigators and coach Mike Spiller worked at a Houston area gymnastics center back in the 1970s and 80s. ABC 13 reporter Shelley Childers is live with what you need to know. Shelley?
Mel and Eric, Mike Spiller was arrested in Boerne, Texas last month, where he'd been working for the last 30 years. But investigators there are now working with victims right here in Houston. They want Houston area victims to know there is still time to come forward. This is a man who worked closely with children, prosecutors say, for the last 6 decades and is now accused of sexual misconduct. Coach Mike Spiller arrested for a second time by Boerne police in 1 month. Previously lived and worked in the Houston area.
Our investigation shows Spiller has ties to several cities in Texas, including Houston, Giddings, Galveston, and Boerne.
The Boerne police chief announcing they're working with 5 victims right now, 2 of whom allege crimes in Houston. Our partners at the Houston Chronicle profiling one of them, who says she was 10 years old in 1983 when the man known as Coach Mike cuddled and touched her during a gymnastics sleepover at the gym. Spiller's arrest in Boerne stems from another victim, now an adult, who says she was 12 or 13 years old when he was the bus driver for a gymnastics summer camp.
The victim told our detective that Spiller exposed themselves on 2 different occasions during the bus ride.
The U.S. Center for Safe Sport filing a temporary suspension against him this summer after the Chronicle says a 3rd victim, still a juvenile, reported he put his hand on the back of her leotard twice. Police say he has worked in Texas, California, New Mexico, Hawaii, and Switzerland. Prosecutors believe there are other victims who have yet to come forward.
It does not matter when it may have occurred. No case is too old.
Spiller is currently charged with 2 counts of indecency with a child. He remains behind bars in Kendall County.
Aye. All right, Rico. What do you think, man?
I mean, it's tough. You know, I think it's not surprising that he got away with it for so long. We can see him.
There we go. What's that?
I said it's not surprising that he got away with it for so long because we can see him.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Well,
that's not surprising. If he looked differently.
You don't think that's funny? Well,
I mean, if he looked differently, it wouldn't have been 30 years. They said he's been doing it for 30 years. So I'm like, okay. Okay.
But you don't think that's funny? A grown man at a sleepover for all girls?
Absolutely. But we can see him.
Okay.
See, they're giving the benefit of that. Mr. Peterson just said we need more of them. You know, and that's the crazy thing about it is they'll readily believe that. Look at him. He looks harmless. Mm-hmm. To them,
yeah.
To them, he looks harmless. He's always going to be given the benefit of the doubt. Let him look like me or you.
No. And then my wife just told me yesterday, hey, I found this ballet program. I said, as long as you're gonna be there every moment
that cool, she's there. No
yeah. You know.
Yeah.
But you know who gonna pay, who gonna end up having to pay for that.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be no you drop them off and you pick them up. Nah.
No, man, we ain't doing that no more. We ain't doing that no more. Remember when you was coaching, Rico? You sit there, you like, damn, it's 8:30. When you gonna pick this boy up?
I can't tell you how many I had to take home.
Me
or
too,
be sitting out there at the field till about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Because I don't know where they live, so I don't know where to take this one.
Right. So you gotta sit there because you don't have their number. You don't have it. You don't know where he lives. So
he don't know where he lives. Oh my God!
So you sit there like, damn. You gotta wait. And here she comes. Ooh, yeah. Boy, come on, we gotta go. Right? Yeah. No sorry, nothing. Right? Yeah, like, we did do that, man.
Like, yeah, he already had dinner. I had to feed him.
Right. I already went up the street and got him some chicken. All right.
Yeah,
right?
I couldn't eat in the boy face.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's move on, man. What we got next? We're gonna talk about black boys, man. We're gonna watch a little video about black boys, y'all. Let's see. Not the Good Doctor. We finished up with the Good Doctor, but
Okay.
we're gonna watch something about black boys, man. Let's see. Here we go. Where is it? Oh, here we go. We'll watch a little documentary, y'all. Couple minutes.
From Cal.
So excuse me? Yes? I think you dropped it? Oh.
Thank you. It must have fallen out of my pocket. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So sweet. What a sweet kid.
I know. Too bad he won't stay that way.
Why do you say that?
You know. I mean, eventually he's going to grow up and he'll probably be the one pickpocketing someone for $20 and eventually end up in jail.
Is that before or after he joins a gang?
You know, I wish black boys wouldn't be so lazy. If they would just stay in school, they might learn to become good, decent citizens.
Well, let's just hope he isn't still hanging out in our park in a couple of years. I'd really hate to see this place overcome by gangs.
I don't think you have to worry about that. It's probably just a once-off visit. Anyway, now that you have your money back, you can treat me to a smoothie.
Oh, yeah. Jamba?
As a black boy living in America, we're often faced with obstacles, inherited struggles, and negative stereotypes that challenges us on a day-to-day basis. We endure such labels as being angry, being aggressive, cognitively inadequate, and only as valuable as our athletic or our artistic ceiling. When in actuality, we're composed of so much more. Unfortunately, in life, we're often judged by what's on the outside and even what's on a piece of paper. For instance, African-American boys make up the highest demographic in our juvenile justice system here in the United States. Also, they are disproportionately represented in our school special education system, often labeled as having a specific learning disability or emotional behavior disorder. And when it comes to school discipline, black boys have the highest rate of being suspended in out-of-school suspensions. In this documentary, we will authentically highlight what it is and what it means to be living as a black boy.
We taught.
I'm a really strong kid. I'm a forgiving person. I try to be somebody else when I'm sad, but I can't. So I pretend that I'm sad so no one else can, hurt me.
Like, they was like, don't know that black one. I'm like, I was just getting mad. I was gonna go tell my auntie or somebody on it.
I grew up in the South Central area. They don't play in South Central, and you get mistaken for a gangbanger, especially nowadays because of the ages and people be everybody gangbang now. It makes me think that, oh, this person even gangbang, and I don't gangbang, and I live over here, and there's a lot of people dying, and that makes me feel like I'm going to be next.
I had a good childhood, I would say, right here. What used to be called South Central Los Angeles, right here in the area of 91st and Budlong, right here by Sunnyside Baptist Church. I became a detective supervisor working for the Los Angeles Police Department for 32 and a half years with numerous different job titles, but I was a supervisor for the narcotic unit for about 18 years.
Because I think the world has a certain, view of black males and who they are without actually getting to know them on a personal level. So I think the world just doesn't have a lot of understanding for black men and what they've been through and why they may react the way that they, react to certain situations.
And
Another crying mother. They done killed another brother. Another black man gone. Gotta sing in another sad song.
Like some of my friends have died, like 3. It was probably like a month ago, last year. It like hurt me when I first heard about it. Like it hurt all of us. Like everybody know, like he wasn't, like his mother died already. Like it was just sad. Like anybody he knew, like he was a cool dude. Like he wasn't like, he didn't mess with people. Yeah, like a lot of people be dying.
I don't like white police officers because they mean and they look ugly. They take people to jail because they doing too much and they act like they're a criminal. But if they be bad, they will go to jail.
I don't know why it's not fair for us black males, but I don't think it's fair for us or women.
Cause it's still racism and recently, like when a white man rushed in the Capitol, like it was no guards there. But like if like black people rushed in, like only 4 people died, like there. I'm not saying more people should have died, but like it would have been like a lot way more people dying if it was black people.
Being black, that means I go to jail because black people go to jail. Why do black people go to jail? I don't know.
Let me be straight. When I was growing up, I didn't like the police. Okay, the police in this area, this was at that time Lennox sheriffs, and I mean, maybe it was because there was a overall perception that the police were not our friends. Okay, I didn't see police in this neighborhood doing anything that made me feel like they were my friends.
All right, y'all. We're gonna finish the documentary next time. We just gonna watch it all the way through. But basically, it's a documentary about what these young black boys got to go through in the hood, man. Rico, of course, you don't know nothing about that growing up in the projects, right? You don't know nothing about that.
Nope. You know what? You didn't tell me at the beginning of the documentary that Anton and Jesse Lee Peterson was going to be in it.
Anton and Jesse Lee Peterson, what?
Yeah, they was at the beginning of the documentary. They were 2 little Karens.
Oh yeah, man, I saw that. Didn't you see that?
Same ideology, right?
That was what attracted me to the thing at first. Was that they were saying pretty much the same thing, right?
That's
and
what
the
I'm saying.
One lady brought the second lady over, right? Yeah. She converted her right there, right?
So I'm like, see, you didn't hear it. I'm like, I heard the same thing.
That's what initially got me to go to the video.
And as you go further in the documentary, it's not lost on me, all the things that these young boys are saying and feeling. And I remember feeling a certain kind of way when I was their age about the same thing. But we shouldn't have had to feel that way because young white boys don't feel that way growing up. And I will say this too. What also offends me the most about the Anton and the Jesse Lee Peterson situation is bad enough that young black boys have to feel that way about the police and how others see them. But now I didn't grow up feeling like that black men looked at me that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't have that burden to carry. And it's a shame that in 2022, as a black man, why are you putting that additional burden on these young black boys that not only do they got to look over their shoulders at the white man, they got to look at how we look at them.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't be looking at our own like they're less than, or like, oh, look at little nigga, he gonna go to jail. Now I've said that about a specific kid, but I've never said that based on their skin color. Maybe a certain kid by their behavior, he's always in trouble, but that's based on an action. These fools are saying it with no absence the evidence of any action. They're assigning life outcomes to people simply because they're black.
Right.
That's crazy. And it's like I said, in the video, it showed, well, this is how white people think about black people. Yeah, because like I said, they don't know us. Jesse Lee Peterson and Anton, like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Y'all
Well,
supposed to know us.
He's supposed to, right?
Right. So why would you just put life outcomes on us because she's got a bonnet? Silly shit like that. She's got a bonnet and she's got 3 kids. She could be a widower with 3 kids and wearing a bonnet. And now because the husband died, she's in an economic situation that desires some sort of help or assistance. They just have no empathy for anybody other than themselves.
Well, we know that talking about how horrible black women are, that's a business now.
Right.
It's a business model, right? And YouTube, black YouTubers, men have turned it into a business, right? Where you can go out and push the conservative narrative by using black women to do it, right? And then on top of
using them as the target and using other black people to do it.
Right, exactly. So it's a hustle, man. I agree with that. But hold on one second.
But my thing is that
Rico. Let me do some shout outs real quick. Let's just get back to that. Okay, let me shout out the Intellectual Soapbox. Shout out to Intellectual Soapbox. Shout out, glad to have you in the building, brother. Who else is in the building? Risa Neal, A1 Day One. Shout out to have you in the building, sis. And of course, Marcus is in the building, right? Marcus said we do need the police, though. It's important to keep a safe structure and from graphics, homicide, deleters, kidnappers, right? But Marcus, don't fall for the hype. I know they told everybody that if the black people want to defund the police. Come on,
never.
Don't fall for the hype, man. That's just hype.
We want just policing. That's all we ever asked for is just and fair policing.
Right.
That's not the same as no police. It would have never been. It never would have been a conversation if we had just policing. So when they talk about, when they talk about defund the police, they're talking about trying to clean up the police department. Because let's face it, they're full. I mean, I'd say right now, I'd probably sit there and say probably a good 25% of police forces all throughout America is probably still racist.
Right.
A good quarter of them. And that's just way too fucking many.
Right.
That's way too many. So we don't want 100% gone. We want that 25% of poisonous snakes done away with and better cops in there to replace them that's going to be there to serve and protect everybody and not just some people. That's all that's ever been. So that's just, I get the whole defund the police thing there. And I do think that they need to defund them having tanks and shit. I'm like, I don't see no rationale for that. We have a protest and they out there in tanks and all kinds of military grade weapons. I'm like, nah, they don't need to have that.
Well, I'm gonna say this, that I think that when they initially said, well, defund the police, that is something that they were saying in terms of taking some of the money you paying all these people. Let's get some people in here to train them properly on how to deal with, because they were killing autistic kids and
they still are.
Yeah, right. So they were saying, hey, look, this is or mentally unadjusted people, right? And so of course they're not going to obey your commands, right? And they're mentally not able to understand what's going on. But we have to actually have the police, and I don't think there's any black person that wanted to have the defund the police. Like there's no police force, right? So don't go for the hype. Don't go for the hype out there, y'all.
That's the people that want to counter the police accountability.
Exactly.
They don't want any
buzzwords like CRT to get votes.
So they sit there and they go all the way to the extreme to say, well, this is what these people want, when that ain't what they said they want.
Right. That's what.
But they do that with every issue because we don't want no accountability. Police should just be able to kill at will, and they shouldn't be questioned. And the people that were saying defund the police are saying like, no, these motherfuckers need to be questioned and they need to be held accountable. So I look at a lot of cities that even have things like civilian police accountability review boards. The police are still not held. I think that honestly, you know what the issue is? It's not the police. It's the police unions. The police unions are the things that's the problem. But the city, you know, your city negotiates with that. The city, their power. They gave them all this power. Then they say it ain't nothing we can do. I'm like, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. You let that contract run out. They can do what they're gonna do, and then you can just sit there and hire a police that's like, hey, we're gonna have this is gonna be a new contract. Again, like I said, I don't take away none of their benefits. I don't say take away none of their money. I say none of that. But the accountability aspect, and the only reason why I say that they did the same, you know who else used to be powerful like that? The teachers union. But somehow, in some way, they found a way to strip the power away from the teachers unions, and they hold them accountable like a motherfucker.
Well, Reagan.
So all I'm saying is the same way that we sit there and end up with the same thing, teachers union, they bargain with the cities and so on and so forth. We got to do the same thing with the police union. It's like, yeah, we hold teachers accountable for our kids' education. We need to hold police accountable for killing people.
Yeah.
That's all.
There definitely needs to be a different way to handle these questionable killings. There definitely need to be, because once people know, hey, it's not going to be just like, oh, well, oh, John, you had a problem. Oh, okay, no problem. It's going to be swept under the rug.
And what's crazy is we hold the military more accountable than the police.
Right.
They have a higher standard of accountability. We hold doctors. We hold everybody else accountable for their performance on the job, except police. That's what's crazy. So
all right, let's let me do a shout out real quick. Shout out to Blaze Brown. Shout out to Blaze Brown in the building. Shout out to Miss She Said, good day to you, sis. Hope everything is going good. Mark said, yep, but if I could govern the entire police stations on all levels across the nation, if I could see the files, records, and patterns of corruption, abuse, the dash cam quarters for abuse of power. Yeah, man, but
it'll blow your mind.
It'll
blow your mind if you can see
it. Yeah. But they tried. They got such a convoluted way of trying to get that
you
information.
Can't even see it.
Right. It's just so convoluted the way to try to get to it that you got to fight for 2 years with a lawyer just to get a dash cam, man. You know, hopefully, man, we will improve that, man. We will improve that.
Right.
All right, y'all. We got to keep moving, man, because Patrice is coming up. So, Rico, do you know who Granville? What's this dude's name? Granville something.
I'm sure you're gonna tell me.
I'm gonna tell you, brother. If I can find his name. What Granville?
Are you gonna ask me if I know somebody and you don't know their name?
I don't even know.
I don't know and you don't either.
Granville T. Woods.
Okay.
Granville T. Woods. Okay. Do you know who this brother
I've heard his
here.
name before. I don't know who he is though. I can't
okay.
recall.
This cat. Let's see what
I know
he
he's
got.
some type of inventor, right?
Yes, he is. Definitely on December 2nd. Let me read the article here real quick. Granville T. Woods patents telephone transmitter. Granville T. Woods patented a telephone transmitter on December 2nd, 1884, which joined together the telephone and the telegraph. Woods sold the rights to the telephone transmitter to Alexander Graham Bell. So Graham Bell didn't invent that. Woods did, right? But he just sold the technology. Granville T. Woods was often described as a black Edison. Actually, Woods won twice in court, defending his inventions from claims that by Edison. And a white man tried to get him even back in the day, man. Woods patented more than 50 inventions, including the synchronous multiplex railway telegraph, which could enable communications between train stations from moving trains. This system completely changed the operation of the railway system, saving perhaps thousands of lives by allowing trains to communicate with each other while moving on the rails. He sold many of his inventions to General Electric, American Engineering, and Westinghouse. Woods was born on April 23rd, 1856 in Columbus, Ohio, died on January 30th, 1910 in New York City at the age of 53. So that's your Black History Minute. Brother Granville T. Woods patents a telephone transmitter. So his invention helped the telephone and the telegraph work. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How much you want to bet he was poor?
Yeah, I think he wasn't no bazillionaire. That's for
Right?
sure.
No. He was probably poor and black. And get what? What if we didn't let him have kids? Or what if his mammy? I bet you his mammy and daddy were poor. Since he was born in 1856, that means they probably were just getting out of slavery, right?
Well,
they probably just getting out of slavery, right?
1884.
So,
yeah, just
yeah.
you know,
So,
20 years out. Yeah.
What if they didn't have him? See,
well, here's the thing.
Nothing good come from poor black people.
That's the thing. One person said, "You poor, you shouldn't be born," and another person said, "You know, you're not gonna. If you are born, you're not gonna do nothing. But you're not gonna bring nothing value to the community."
Jesse Lee Peterson said, "All black people do is destroy."
That's it. That's what he
that
said.
Was his
not
word.
Only black, not just us. He said all other
everything that ain't white. So black, Latinos, and Asians, we destroy. And we don't invent nothing. He said only white people invent things and innovate. That's what he said. Look at Brother Granville.
I had to ask the question about Ukraine.
Look at Brother Granville.
Yeah.
But he said black people don't do none of this stuff.
Yeah.
We've been doing it for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So have Latinos, so have Asians. Hell, we got gunpowder because of Asians.
Yeah.
But he said they don't do nothing but destroy.
Yeah. And he also said this, man. This is one that this one was so easy to debunk. So he said back when he was coming up, which I would say was probably be the 40s and the 40s and the 30s, right?
How old is that?
We didn't. Jesse, I think he's almost 70, 60, 69 or 70, something like that. And so he said that we didn't bring illegal aliens in. And I go, "Oh, are you crazy? Well, you think the Irish, the Italians, the Jews, all these people came over, man, and the Italians came in, they used to call them WOPs, W-O-P, without papers, right? Because they just come with nothing. No paperwork, no nothing. They didn't even know their names, right? And they gave them a room, they give them food, and they gave them school, right? So what is he talking about? We've been taking in illegal aliens. Oh, we ain't talking the darker illegal aliens. That's the ones we're talking about. See, but he didn't specify that. Okay, y'all, we got to keep moving, man. That's your Black History Minute. Don't take our word for it. Dig that. Okay, we got one more stop to make, y'all. One more stop to make, and then STEM job of the week. Okay, so some of y'all saying to yourself, I got something I want to show y'all real quick, right? So some of y'all are looking for a career, right? Some of y'all, or maybe you might know somebody looking for a career, right? So I took the time to take a list of the top 10 fastest growing cities in 2022, right? So these are the cities that are growing fast. They're exploding, right? And real estate is going up. The job market is increasing. So, tax base is going up, right? So these are places where there's probably going to be a lot of jobs. Okay. So I took the time to go to the San Francisco and get their the city of San Francisco. We want to look at their job board, right? So all I want to do is just show you guys, man, there's so many jobs out here, right? We just got to be purposeful for what we're doing, right? So let me go back to just the city. Okay. Let me go back. This is the city's website, right? sf.gov, the city of San Francisco, right? And as you can see, man, this is the job board, right? Click on job, find jobs, and careers with a purpose. We can browse the openings, or and all the departments. We can see if we want jobs in, right? Okay, or we can just go through all, right? They got all these jobs that are out here in the city of Frisco, right? Right. I know they don't like us saying Frisco, but it's San Francisco, right? So my point is, all you have to do is search for a job, and then, of course, at some point, you're going to have to probably sign in to be able to access even more information, right? So anyway, like I said, this is the city. This is the city of San Francisco. You can go out there and get a job. This is their job board. You can go out there and try to get a job, and use their job board to search. You can search by class or keyword, right? You can say, I want to be a police. You put the police in there. Police. And then you can search, and then they give you all the police officer, all the officers, right? So, I mean, I'm just saying you can search by a lot of different stuff. All right, y'all. So that's it. That's the job of the week. You go to the city of San Francisco, and you can go over there and try to get a job. That's right down the street from Silicon Valley. Is right around there. A lot of jobs over there at this point. All right, that's that. Okay, man. All right, Rico. What does that say? Head Negro? Oh man, hold on.
The head Negro health.
Hold on, man. Hold on.
F
I
white
don't know,
Santa.
man. I gotta see what's going on here, man. Hold on, man. Hold on.
Give one, get one free. Masterclass.
What? Hold on.
I don't care what the white man says. I don't care what the white man says. Santa Claus was a black man.
I do that one just for you, man. All right, let's see. Yeah, Blaze Brown said the post office is hiring her. The good doc, what's up, man? Okay, Blaze Brown said the post office are like Robert Townsend, right? The post office is hiring, right? All right, and then they never gonna run out of money. The post office, all they do is go to the government every year and say, oh, by the way, we need $3 billion, we need $4 billion, man. They just cut them a check. So they're never going out of business. But anyway, this is what we want to talk about. Rico, when is it time for us to get off coal? Right? We want to ride with our people, right? We want to ride with them, man, because we feel like, hey, man, this person has made some strides, and they have broke through the ceiling, and we want to know, hey, man, this dude is cool, man. He done got through. We happy for him. Press on. But at some point, sometimes some of our people go off the deep end, man, and we have to know when to say, okay, I was happy for you when you were successful, but now you on this path, you on this course, and so I got to leave you at that spot. When is that? When do we do that, Rico?
I mean, I think for me, it's when that said person says or does something that's harmful to the collective or the community. I think, like I said, when I listened to your stream, when you was talking about this situation, even with Sister Indian, I'm with you 100% the same way. Even when it involves, our children or my children, it's like I don't ride with them indefinitely, no matter what. Especially if I know that they're wrong. When you've broken my values, because I'll hear some people say, well, they'll stick with their kids no matter what. Boom, boom, boom. But then I also ask them, I said, for me, I look at it like this. Well, what happens if you have two children and one causes harm to the other? So now you find yourself in a dilemma. If you support the one that caused the harm, then does that mean you don't care about the one that got hurt? Or if you go against the one who got hurt, does that mean you don't care about the one that caused the harm? So I'm like, for me, I stick to my values and my belief structure. Now, yes, I will give a little bit more leniency to my kids, but they have to meet my same thought process. I can't change my values or my belief structure just because it's someone I know, someone I love. So I'm certainly not going to do it for somebody I like, whether it's a celebrity, an athlete, a politician, or a friend. I won't do it for my own family. You know, so when my kid did something and so the same way I say that is like if one son shot the other one, I'm gonna take the one that shot the one and tell them you need to turn your ass in. I'm gonna do the same thing if they shoot anybody.
Right.
Because that's my belief structure. I'm not gonna go, oh, I'm not, I mean, and I get people who don't do it. I'm like, okay, I'll tell mine in a minute. Look, I'll give your ass 24 hours. But after that, I'm letting these people know because you shouldn't be out here doing that. And it's not fair to somebody else's family, especially if you take their life. And thankfully I got like my one son, he always said it's like it's unfair for people to take and dump their trauma on you. If you don't want me to tell nobody, you shouldn't have fucking told me. Now I gotta live with that, I have to live with that trauma because of what you chose to do. So it's like, hey, I'm gonna give you 24 hours to get you a lawyer. But after that, if you ain't told, I'm telling.
Yeah, I'm on my way. Yeah.
I'm on my way. It's just that simple. And it doesn't mean you can think I don't love you, whatever you want. You think whatever you want. If you wanted that sort of loyalty from me, you shouldn't have told me. So I've already told all my kids, hey, this is how I'm rolling.
Yeah,
and I would never take a burden of a wrongdoing to my loved ones with the expectation that they're supposed to protect me. I would never do that.
Right. I wouldn't even put that on them.
I don't know what kind of man that is. So that I don't understand. I don't understand a man taking that burden to their mama, their woman, their kids, talking about you gotta hide me. Hell no. A couple of dollars, I'm out.
All right, well, Rico, let me shout out to Rashawn. If you haven't already subscribed to Critically Drinking, go on over to Critically Drinking, subscribe to them, and tell us what you think, man. See if that's the kind of content you are down for. Shout out to Brother Rashawn over there at Critically Drinking. All right, okay, Rico. Okay, that's your son. What about a celebrity, a black celebrity?
They cut off at the break.
Wait a minute, Rico. Wait a minute. Okay. A black celebrity that has amassed a fortune, right? Work with people, work with different companies, amassed a fortune, right? The celebrity starts speaking his true mind or how he really feels at this point in the game. And now he starts losing friends and influence, right? And at what point of him speaking do we say, okay, now this person has stepped over the line, we can no longer support him?
Well, obviously, it always rely on what they're saying. Like I said, we're talking about this young man here up on the screen. And the reality, like I already told you, Clarence, I think that if we as a collective, as a group of people had got in his ass when he said what he said about us, he might still be $1.5 billion richer. But we let it ride. And when we let it ride, he just got more and more reckless with his speech. So people are upset. I was like, I'm not upset about what he said about the Jews. I was done with the nigga when what he said about us. I ain't got to wait for you to get to another group. But too many of us ignored that because what he said about us should have been enough. We should have put our foot down, and we didn't. I'm not blaming anybody particular. I'm just saying, well, if other people decide they're not going to put up with it, then they ain't going to put up with it.
New Growth said, here we go. All right, so let's, I tell you what, New Growth, if you want to defend what we're about to watch right now, man, please come on up, man. Come on up. All right, so we're going to watch Mr. West as he is going to, this, by the way, is Kanye West on the Alex Jones show, and is going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly. But the purpose of this is we want to know when. See, it's cool to ride with our people, man. We can ride with our people, but we got to know when. Okay, enough is enough.
Or put like this: why shouldn't we ride with the people that's riding with us?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's just that simple. If he riding with us, I'm riding with him. If he's shitting on us, I ain't fucking with him.
Hey, even if you ride with me, if you ride with me,
I'm
But
riding with you.
you outside. But if you outside of what I stand for, then I
Then
got
I'm
to step
fucking
aside.
with
I got to
you.
step to the side.
Right.
That's me. I
You
got to
do
step to
you.
the side.
Right. You do you. I'm
Yeah,
not going.
you know what I'm saying?
But my thing is, you ain't gonna sit there and talk about, oh, fuck them young. Okay, well, we ain't fucking with you. Stay the fuck away from me, and I don't give a fuck what happened to you. End the discussion. And when you find yourself in the space where they putting that foot in your ass, I don't care.
Yeah, don't call me. All
I
right.
don't care. I just don't.
Sister
I
Eddie
mean,
said,
and nothing wrong with them feeling that way, because people can seriously not care for me. Good. That's your honest feeling. I don't fuck with you either.
hold on. Sister Eddie says, Brother Clarence and Rico, what happens when a person honestly feels the way they do? Have they crossed the line only because you or the majority don't agree with it?
No, because I think you can I can have a difference of opinion without tearing you down. But if your difference of opinion somehow assaults or cause me harm, and all harm is not physical. Harm can also be done verbally, rhetorically. So if you sit here and say that, hey, that's how you feel, again, I have a right to go, hey, I ain't rocking with you, because there can't be no obligation that we have to sit there. And are we saying that we're obligated to defend everybody of the collective no matter what? No matter what they say or do, just because they feel a certain kind of way.
Well,
but other than that, we got to defend Jesse Lee. And I ain't defending nothing that fool said.
That's true. Well, I this is my opinion on that. I don't
Jesse
feel
Lee
that
way. I think it's a hustle, but maybe Jesse Lee feel that way. Maybe he feel like
I think
nobody but white
absolutely
people
feels
should
that way.
continue to have kids. And if you want to defend that shit, defend it.
But the majority, I'm not really necessarily me myself. I'm not necessarily worried about what the majority thinks. I'm worried about how I think about it.
Right.
And if I can't step out there and with both feet defend the position as I'm walking with you, then I'll say, brother, either you gotta put that position down, or I gotta let you go and do it. Go ahead and do your thing.
And this is the one thing I want to say. I'm trying to understand for everybody, and maybe Sister Annie, you can explain it to me. So, if in fact Brother Clarence takes a position that's in complete opposition of me, then I'm doing one or two things. Either I agree with the position, or I'm trying to understand, what do y'all think someone is supposed? They're just supposed to say, well, I don't agree with it, but they have a right to do it. And that might be true, but what if their position is in direct offense to you or what you believe? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure. It's this weird place where I think y'all want people to land, where literally, if someone takes a position that's against you, where you're supposed to be like, well, they have a right to it. And it's like,
No. I think what she's saying, Rico, is
right.
He has a right to do it.
Sure.
Now, the question is, when are we having a problem with him because it's personal issue with us, or he's not flying with the majority?
No, my issue is what he says about us as a collective, which is certainly not based on facts. So you're right. If their position is based on fact, then I can't argue with facts. I can't argue with facts. But it's not factually that slavery was a choice. I'm sorry.
Okay, y'all. Let's. And by the way, glad to have you on the.
He said that.
Pagoda.
Of course, he said that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna watch.
Well, I'm not surprised that he said that.
Yeah, man. It's starting to really go off the rails here. But we're gonna watch him on.
I just want you. I will say this, you guys in the chat. Just ask yourself this: are you guys? Do you think that you're fervently defending free speech, You know what I'm saying? Because I think sometimes people get so caught up on, oh, I just defend everybody has a right to say whatever they want or to feel whatever they want. But sometimes that can cross over to the realm of ridiculousness. Sometimes. I'm not saying anybody in particular, but everybody is like, and I'm like, are we also taking a knee-jerk reaction because he's one of us, that we just got to jump out there and defend him no matter what? That's what maybe I would ask all of you guys. Ask yourself, is it like, am I just jumping out there and defending him because he's one of us? Or do I really care about free speech? Because I can tell you just as much crazy shit as he said, I hear white people say it, and I don't see black people defending it. I don't see these First Amendment defenders defending a whole lot of. He wasn't on that stage by himself. He's up there with another person, another racist motherfucker. I don't see nobody defending that guy.
The guy with the beard you're talking about?
I only see black people defending Kanye, but they will condemn the other two people. I'm like, all three of them are the same. So why condemn two of them and not him? I don't hear nobody coming back. Oh, all the shit that Nick Fuentes has said about black people, about Jewish people, and everybody else. Nobody is sitting there defending him. You wouldn't be caught within a mile of trying to defend that white guy who says all that shit that he says about Jewish people and black people. But because Kanye's up there, well, we're gonna defend Kanye. I'm like, they're all three the same.
I could defend. Like I've always said, I defended his right to be able to speak freely, even though I may not have agreed 100% with everything he said. Now he's gotten into the realm where he's saying things that I can't even say this is good to say. Even if you feel this way, it's not even good to say. And here's why. Here's one of the main reasons why, you guys in the chat.
It's not even based in fucking reality.
Well, that's not my issue. At this point, my thing is based on have been taught mutual respect and knowing how we all have to live. Because America's a big village, right? We all have to live together. And so what we're going to need to be able to come in contact with each other is mutual respect. Okay. So, but if you're going to say things that's going to disrespect other people, but I didn't mean to disrespect them. I know you maybe didn't intend to do that. I just want to tell the truth. I know, but if you don't do it in a way where people can learn instead of you weaponizing the information that you're doing and you use it as a weapon, then it's going to be a problem.
Right. What's the point?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nobody's going to listen to you, A. And two, all you're going to do is create a problem, right? Shout out to you guys. We're going to New Growth. Okay, so before you guys get started, we're going to listen to a little bit of Kanye, maybe a minute or two of Kanye. And we're going to see if who can stand with him on just what he's saying, not him as a person, but just the comments that he's making.
I'm gonna kill you and take the children away from you. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler. This is the future president you're talking to right now. I love Jewish people, but I also love Nazis. Germans had a really cool leader at one time. Love you, love you, love you. There's a lot of things that I love about Hitler.
Well, I think Hitler did target and kill some people. So I think,
I think Obama killed Palestinians.
This is a new look for you.
Oh no, I've been wearing a mask for a while. Yeah. Hey guys, could you not talk in the back? I'm like really hypersensitive to sound. If you guys want to talk, just go in the other room, please. Shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, shut up. Shut up. I'm throwing the tablets right now. Shut up. Instagram is about prostitution.
Okay, so even before we get too deep in the weeds, can we just say one thing? The guy that he praised, Hitler, he fucking hated black people.
Listen.
Don't tell me he didn't.
Let's keep it real. Who cares if he hated black people, right? Because guess who else? Hold on. Listen. Let me talk and listen to the facts. Because another guy that hated black people, your brother Obama got on the stage and quoted Reagan, right? You remember Obama quoting Reagan? Have you ever seen a tape of Reagan saying that it wasn't 6 million in the Holocaust? Have you seen that?
No, and I don't care.
No, because you cannot hold somebody to a standard and not hold another person. That was the whole point of the conversation.
Who
You
the fuck
just
is
said
holding
it.
to a standard?
I think there is a big difference between Reagan and Hitler.
Reagan ain't killed 6 million people.
Well, I never
There's
said
a big difference between those two individuals.
to you, right? To you.
No,
not
let's
to the
be
black
serious
people,
for a second.
Not to the black people who got addicted to crack. Not to the black people who had their parents and their families destroyed, brother. I need y'all to start fucking reading and stop being off the top. Just I want to respond to anything because I feel. But listen, Hitler did not.
You're telling it to me?
Let me give you one example, and I'm gonna chill. Who do we when we think of what you call it geniuses? Who's one of the first names that come into mind?
Albert Einstein.
Einstein. But what did Einstein create? Vogola. What did he?
The nuclear bomb, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. So why isn't he at this? Now, when you think of Hitler, he had the Holocaust, but did not he make German engineering one of the things? Did he not make Germany and did he not create and help build German engineering that runs the world almost to this day? Okay,
No.
I'm done. Me and Clarence know the
No.
facts. Y'all
With all
want
due
to say here?
respect, you need to check some.
Clarence, am I wrong?
Bro.
Clarence, am I wrong?
You're not.
What Hitler did is build Auschwitz. That's what he did.
Hold on.
He killed cripples. He killed gays. He killed people.
You see, that's why we can't have this conversation.
Hold on, y'all. Now, New Growth is right. Hitler came in, and for the German people, he did all these social programs. He improved the life of the German people that he determined were fit to live. He improved a lot of things over there. Now, we got to take that into account because got to tell the truth, because he did make some improvements. Now, however,
and the back of minorities.
Wait, hold on. And under the guise of doing all this reconstruction, they were able to get materials they could use to build all these tanks and stuff like that. So it's a two-sided coin there, but definitely he did make Germany a much stronger country as far as from the viewpoint of the Germans actually living there. He did, and the ones that he decided that wanted to. We all know that Hitler killed many Germans, not just Jews, not just anybody. He killed not just the Polish, not just Russians. He killed many Germans, many. Why? Because they had one leg longer than the other, or one arm shorter than the other, or they had autism or some type of mental instability or something like that. He gave millions of Germans the needle, right? So this dude, Adolf Hitler, was an evil person.
Yes.
Okay. And I don't think Reagan got the opportunity to do that stuff. I think if he had the door open to do it, he would have did the same type of stuff, right?
But he did it in his own way. He did it in his own way, right?
That's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna say, I can't say he's just as evil, but he was close. He was running a close second, right?
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this simple question.
Shout out to
Name one motherfucking black person that Hitler ever helped.
That's not the point. You're not listening to what he said. No, you're missing what he said. He said a lot of things. Listen, I'm just going to quote what Kanye say. You're not. Your point. No, I'm gonna let you talk because I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna bounce off the stage because what you're talking about is not what we're talking about. You're changing the topic.
You brought Reagan into this bullshit.
No, I gave you an example of Kanye. Listen, I'm giving you what did Kanye say? What did Kanye say? What did Kanye say?
Let him talk.
Kanye said that he's seen things. There's a lot of things that he admired about Hitler. Was that wrong?
I think so. Hitler was a wicked person. That's my opinion.
He said a lot of things. Okay, but is he wrong though? Because like you said, he built structure. He built this. He built that. It's a lot of things that people admire about Reagan.
And the back of minorities, he did it.
Listen, a lot of people admire Albert Einstein, but this man created the bomb that has the ability to destroy the whole world. I've never seen anybody say anything that he was a wicked person. It's a wicked person that came up with an atomic bomb.
He was a child molester and an incestuous child molester. He was.
Right.
Okay,
So
that doesn't mean he didn't do anything that had
wasn't
an
great
impact on the world. No, I'm
That's
not gonna say
all
it's
I'm
great.
saying.
I'm not gonna say it's great, but it had an impact. Just like Hitler had an impact. Now, but that doesn't mean he wasn't wicked.
No.
Just like the same thing. Bill Cosby did a lot of good stuff.
Right.
But he did some stuff that wasn't so good, right? But that doesn't take away the good stuff that he did. That doesn't take away. Okay, I'm not gonna just call the man, and say he just was nothing or he was just this evil person, because he did do he did have some redeeming qualities.
Right.
I'm saying Adolf Hitler didn't have no redeeming qualities, zero, man, unless you could point him out. He did accomplish some things. So I'm giving you that, New Grove. I'm giving you that.
Like killing 6 million Jews. That's what he accomplished.
No, he accomplished way more than that, Pagoda. That's the obvious, but he accomplished way more than that for the people of Germany. He did accomplish a lot. He
turned Germany into a racist army camp.
Listen. If we talk with our feelings, we're not gonna listen. We're not gonna hear what's being said. So we gotta just talk with truth. Truth is what we need to be listening for.
In fact,
he did accomplish a lot of different things. He practically eradicated unemployment in the German economy. He practically eradicated. He was able to attract people, not only German businessmen, American businessmen, Jewish businessmen invested in him as well. Okay, so
let me correct you, please. I want to correct you. I want to correct you about a few points. Okay. First of all, the money that he used to help up the German economy is he took the money from the Jews. You know, he stole a lot of Jewish. He took a lot of Jewish money. He took all the properties of the Jews. Okay. He did a lot of sick stuff in order to make his money. Okay, and he turned maybe got Germany back on our feet, but I can finish this.
I agree with you. He did take money when they were.
I want to get to my point.
Wait. I'm gonna let you get to it, but I can't.
But I want to get my point.
Wait a minute, but you're saying something now that I need to address right now, and then I'm gonna let you finish. Okay, so you said that the money that he took from the Jewish people funded all of these projects. No. That's not the case. Yes, they took a lot of money from the Jewish people, but the kind of money that they need to buy steel and rubber and petroleum, there was no way that stealing the money that he stole from the Jews was going to pay for all of that. Maybe some, but not all of that. So he had to have people invest in them. So, but I want to acknowledge that when they put the Jewish people on those trains, and they said to them, "Hey, you put your belongings in this train, and and you guys gonna get in these trains." And the trains that had the belongings in it never left. They never left. They never went nowhere, right? So I'm gonna give it to you that the Jews got all their everything of value that they had taken from them, and it was used by the Germans to do different things. But the level of financing you need to buy steel at that level, rubber at that level, petroleum at that level, you're not going to get that from taking money from the little bit of Jews, not a little bit, but I would say the millions of Jews that was there and left their income there. Yeah, that's some money, but that ain't the billions of dollars you're going to need to do that. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay, so we just got to let's be truthful. Now, please continue, Pagoda, and tell me what else I'm wrong about.
Okay, let's see. This, in the end of the day, turned Germany into a racist country. Used if you know the history, used all the suffering that they had from the Versailles Agreement. He took the Jews and made them, a target for all the anger of the Germans. about that you had from the Versailles Agreement.
Why?
Okay.
Why?
Why? He needed
why?
to. Okay, I will tell you why. He needed to have some. I don't know how to say in English. Somebody to blame for the problems
Well,
of the country.
Well, the
Okay.
Jewish business people will put pressure. The Jewish people, from his perspective, the Jewish business people put pressure on the German government at the time to go ahead and sign the Treaty of Versailles.
Bullshit. First of all of us know that's bullshit. That's it. Okay. Jews. A lot of German Jews bled in World. There is noise. Whose microphone is open?
Yours. You know what I'm talking.
Now it's okay. Okay, so like I said, a lot of Jews bled in World War One for Germany at that time, and
Agreed.
and
Agreed.
after this guy, he hated Jews even before, and he saw that he has an opportunity to go up in the ladder because of the situation, and he used the Jews as a scapegoat. Okay, and like I said, he turned Germany into a racist country about race. He turns Germany into a sick, disgusting country with racist ideology. And it's very sad that this ideology is still with us in some places in Europe and also in some places in the USA. And I think about this Kenya guy, he needs if people care about him, they need to put him in some madhouse, in some hospital. He needs to be in a white jacket. Okay, he needs it. This guy is off his train.
And what you just said, what you said, Vagoda, is very true about what the bad things he did. But can we leave out all of the things that he done that was productive? Is that fair to anybody? Because we have George Washington here. He helped America get this independence. He set it up as a state, but he also owned slaves. Should we leave out that? Should me as a person? Could I tell you as a person you say I admire George Washington or Abraham Lincoln, and say that you're wrong, that you're a crazy person because you admire these people who put so much pain and suffering on my people? Can I do that to you?
He didn't just do it to Jews. He did
No,
it.
you're not answering. You're not answering my question.
Okay, repeat it, please.
No, don't worry about it. Hey, I'm gonna drop back down to the chat, y'all. I love hanging out with y'all. Peace and love.
You ask about George Washington because George Washington had slaves. It's there's a difference between. I'm not saying that all the other people are not innocent, but I think there is a difference between a person like George Washington that overall I don't know enough about him, but still. He did good. He still made the USA a country, and unlike him, Hitler he brought war in Germany, and because of him, millions died. Tens of millions have died.
So did George Washington. But hold on. I want to let Arshawn get in and dip his toe in the water and see what he's got to say, and then we're gonna go around the room. Arshawn. Glad to have you in the building, man. If you haven't already subscribed to Critically Drinking, man, what are you doing? Get your butt over to Critically Drinking and sign up right away. Okay, Brother Rashawn, what you got for us, man?
I appreciate it. I already heard the gentleman that just dropped off. He kind of made the point I was going to bring up, but I wanted to ask Rico, like, what angle are we going to speak of? If we're going to speak of, are we using a code word for Mein Kampf? Are we, or can we say the word?
Man, say the word.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. No, I don't have no code word.
So as far as Hitler, what are we? What's the judgment zone? Like, are we going to judge on morality? Because I heard you bring up something about he didn't do anything for black people. So is it a black centric focus or a morality focus or something else? I just want to find out where I'm arguing from.
It was a morality focus for me, but the reason why I brought up the black people was because of the fact that someone injected into the conversation Reagan as to compare the two of them together. And I was trying to make clear there's no fucking comparison between Hitler and Reagan. While I'm not a fan of neither, I don't even see how you can remotely compare the two. So I did point out that one point that it was crystal clear, even in Hitler hated black people and he was trying to fucking exterminate us as well. As much as I don't like Reagan, as much as I don't like Reagan, I don't think there's any evidence that Reagan was trying to exterminate black people. And I don't even see how we can critically assign him for the crack epidemic for what the CIA did. Yes, the US government did introduce cocaine into the black community, so on and so forth. But that you can't assign that. That's just what a government does sometimes. So Reagan happened to be the president. I don't wash his hands of this shit, but I don't think he picked up the phone and said, put crack in the neighborhoods. Hitler specifically told them to kill the fucking Jews. One signed off on something, the other, he's just part of the government. That America's doing all kinds of fucked up shit right now under Biden, all over the world. But I don't think Biden's aware of all of it or is directing all of it. That's just
doesn't
not
do anything anyway.
I think the comparison for me, it was like, bringing Reagan into it was like, I was like, this is fucking crazy. And I go with what Von Bryan said. Shit, Dahmer probably did something good, but he ate a bunch of niggas too. Come on.
I honestly
here's the question. Here's the question. You think Dahmer put barbecue sauce, soy sauce on those brothers?
I must say, I don't think that Biden doesn't know what the hell he's doing. But I must say,
my just thing was, if you're going to compare Hitler to someone, you have his contemporaries are Mao, the guy that, in Cambodia. If you're going to compare him to somebody,
Pol Pot.
That's all I'm saying.
From person to person, you're right. If we're going to try to measure person to person, if you're going to talk about person to person, you're right. But I don't even want to weigh it person to person. I want to consider it figurehead to figurehead. So Hitler was the head of that Reich. The U.S. president is the head of this Reich. The U.S. president has a long established pattern from 1776 to now. That office has presided over a reign of terror over indigenous, black, Chinese, Japanese internment, interventions abroad, that death and depravity everywhere it goes, to the scope that would make Hitler just dream he could live on that level. We're talking about millions of indigenous. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of imported Africans, plus the millions that were grown here, that were bred here. The continual disparities in economics, in education, to the fact that even if it's as far as advancement, as far as what is that called, immigration, the inequitable immigration, depending upon what country you're coming from. There are established patterns of who's permitted to live, even to live, who will even permit in with asylum and refugee status, and who's assigned to die, even based on medical practices. So it's so pervasive, we don't even see the kind of same type of evil because it doesn't have a singular face. So we gloss over it. But it is even worse than anything Hitler did because it's been going on for so many generations. We don't even recognize it. So my issue is, if we're going to talk about morality, we're spending money with the $5 bill, the penny. We call him the great emancipator, but he would have kept slaves. He would have kept slavery. He said it out of his own mouth. I would have kept slavery if it would keep the Union together. So if it were convenient, I still would have continued the genocide of black people right here in my own country. And we celebrate this guy as the great emancipator and have days in his honor and bills and coins. So I cannot get up in arms about Kanye repping Hitler when I live in a country that has me spend money with the person that would have rather had me be a slave than have the country fight itself amongst white people. So again, I can't be the moral police.
Can I ask you a question though?
Let me say this real quick, Rico. Okay, so from my perspective, okay, this person is wrong, and this person is wrong. So, because I called out this person for being wrong and didn't call that person out for being wrong, I can't call out this person's wrong. That philosophy to me is not right. Okay, if this person is wrong and you point out that person being wrong, okay, they're both wrong. They're both wrong. Why should we make a distinction between the two of them, right? If they both are wrong, right? So they both are wicked people. So why are we saying, well, this one was more wicked than this person was less wicked than that person? Yeah, but they both were wicked. So why didn't we just say they were wicked and this person did these things, evil things, and this person did evil things, right? That's when we talk about staying on code, where we got to do some critical thinking. We got to think and say, okay, what's actually going on? Oh my goodness, y'all in trouble now. Y'all in trouble now.
Let me ask you this, Arshawn.
Can I clarify that point?
In the house.
Can I clarify the point? Hello, in India. Can I clarify that point real quick, like 30 seconds? My issue is not that we're calling out both. No, we're celebrating one and demonizing the other. We celebrate the U.S. presidents and the U.S. government. We celebrate them. We're not calling them out for evil. Like as a whole in this country, we celebrate them. We're spending money with their faces on it. So we're not calling them out. We're celebrating them. We have busts. We have days. We have all kinds of memorabilia for these people. So we're not calling them out as evil. So it's totally different than what you just said.
But let me say this.
Well, what I'm saying is, though, but
I can answer to our friend.
Just what? No, hold on one second. Just because we haven't called them out, well, not we. Some of us have, but we as a collective don't call them out. But that's because the culture here in America has it so that you can have two evil people, and the culture will say this person is evil, but this person is a saint. We're not going to tell you all the evil stuff they did behind this, but we're going to demonize this person. This person wants to have black people be able to go and eat at any lunch counter with anybody. He's evil. This person wants to keep slavery, but he's a founding father. See, that's how they do. So the culture can drive. They can drive the thinking process of the people. So unless you get your information from a different place, you can understand. Wait a minute, they're both evil. I mean, this person is evil, and that person, Stalin is evil, and Hitler is evil.
But look,
who cares who's the worst evil? Who cares who's the more evil, or who accomplished more in their wickedness?
Because
I can say something.
No. Hold on. What we're going to do is let Rico respond, because I was going to let Rico respond, and then we're going to let Sister Annie, and then Pagoda, and then Arshawn. Okay? So let's do it like that, y'all.
Okay, I just wanted to say this one thing, because I think what Arshawn said was absolutely right when he talked about the U.S. government. And by that vein, then we have to bring in England, we have to bring in Denmark, we have to bring in Portugal, we have to bring in all the colonizing nations all over the world who have killed millions and millions and millions of lives. And you're also absolutely right, where we still have a national holiday here in this country, probably after someone who's probably killed 10 times as many people as Hitler and Columbus. So I don't dispel that. But the fact of the matter is, so we know, looking at Columbus, we know all the evil that he does, and it's still a holiday. But I don't think people, fortunately, through education and knowledge, more and more people are starting to identify it as Indigenous Day. And that's not just a U.S. problem with people celebrating people of the past that were colonizers and killers. That's a German problem. That's an English problem. That's a problem of all these countries all over the world. So when we sit there and we can't Americanize it because it's all of those countries that was going around exploiting and killing people all over the world in South America, Central America, Africa, Asia, all over the world. The caveat I say is where you carve out Hitler, because he's not responsible for it. The country Germany had probably killed 100 million people. Hitler account for 6 million that he specifically directly did himself. The country's responsible for a lot more. I'm well aware of that through their colonization in Africa and Asia and other people. All I'm sitting there saying is how, for whatever reason, like Clarence said, it's crystal clear to me, they're all fucking evil and wicked. But I don't see, he shouldn't be celebrating any of them. All the people, he shouldn't be celebrating. Kanye shouldn't be saying, the same way. If he could call out George fucking Bush and say George Bush don't care about black people, how the fuck he can't say that about Hitler? That's all I'm sitting there saying. If George Bush was evil, then Hitler's evil, and the German person is evil, and all these people are evil. But why is he celebrating one of the monsters in history if you're not going to celebrate all of them? Celebrate all of them. But I think he's doing it. It's some troll shit.
Right.
Because you pick the one worst person that you know would trigger everybody to troll everybody. Shit, celebrate Lincoln and celebrate. He could call out all the hundreds of millions. He could celebrate Mao and he could celebrate Stalin. No, he picked fucking Hitler. That's a major fucking troll. That's it.
That's what it looks like to me.
And that's why to me it's utter bullshit.
All right, Rico, let's
celebrate them all.
Let's Sister Annie chime in because I know she's gonna be the adult in the room. Sister Annie, what's going on with you?
First of all, hey brother Clarence, hey Rico, hey Brigada,
hey sis,
hey Rashawn. I'm so happy to be on the panel with you. Okay, the only reason that I came up was one, first of all, new growth. I hope that you come back up. Because I think sometimes when we're expressing how we feel, and if we feel really strongly about something, when we're having a conversation, it can tend to like step on someone's toes, and it makes the conversation a little bit uncomfortable, and it makes it not really easy for everyone to hear or to hear everyone's points. So Rico, I wanted to come up and kind of clarify something that I was saying in the chat. My thing is, I'm not defending Kanye. I'm not defending Jesse Lee Peterson. I have listened to a lot of Jesse Lee Peterson. I particularly like to listen to interviews because I like to listen to the people that he's actually interviewing. But what I would say is that no one has a right to tell me what aspect of a person I can appreciate. So even someone who everyone else in the room is disgusted with, for me and my faith, I want to love in the way that God loves me. So I am making some attempt in every encounter I have with someone, even as grotesque as the person is, to figure out something that I can see in them that is the God in them. They may not exemplify it in this world. There's no way I would defend or stand up or support anything with Hitler. That doesn't mean that Kanye doesn't have a right to appreciate and respect some aspects of him. When I listen to Jesse Lee Peterson, he says sometimes there's no such thing as racism in the world. And when people hear that, it's like, what are you talking about? I understand why he's saying that from a place of understanding or thinking about how God sees us. He doesn't see the difference in race. He sees either the sin or evil, or he sees good. So when someone is, and this is just my take and my opinion, that when you are, if you see someone and they are discriminating or treating someone bad because of their race, the label that we put on it is racism. But what I believe that when he says that, his lens is saying is, to God, it's just evil to do that thing. So that was just my only point. My point is that we don't get to decide what people like about other people. We don't get to decide if a person wants to express it and the way that they express it. I don't have to like it. I can stop listening to Jesse Lee Peterson. I don't have to look at interviews or see things with Kanye. But I think in just the same way that I have a right to appreciate, like, love, dislike, support. I don't hate. I try not to hate. And I definitely don't hate a person. I hate actions. But that's the only point that I wanted to make. And Vagoda, one thing that I would just want to mention to you, and I know how strongly you feel about different topics, because I think that when we had a topic similar to this before, the same way that you feel very strongly about when a certain topic is spoken on, who you may be speaking to may feel equally as strong about it. And it doesn't, you don't want to negate their feelings and they don't negate yours. So I just think that if you allow them to express what they feel strongly about, and not because you'll sometimes, and I'm not trying to get on you because, I just defended you the other day on another channel, but like I hear you sometimes, you're like, and I just would say, just be open to hearing what someone else feels really strongly about. So I really hope that hey, Black Man Unfiltered. But I hope that growth comes back up because I absolutely respect all of y'all.
Me too.
I want
Me
everybody
too.
to be heard.
Can I ask Sister Enya one question?
Thank you about what you said.
Let me just ask you one question. And I know, like you said, being a supporter, well, not a supporter, or a listener of Jesse Lee Peterson, how do you think he can reconcile he doesn't see race or racism with the statement that white people should continue to have kids, but Black people shouldn't? So it's like, how is he reconciling these two different things? He doesn't see race, but specifically, he only wants white people to continue to procreate, and he doesn't want anybody else to. And we only destroy, and they only create.
So
like
when I won't try to, I don't. So when I have listened to him, I listened to his backstory, and I think that he said that he was it sharecropper, and but when I listened to how he was brought up, in my head, what I think is that he's someone that he was, oh, massa, we sick, So when you have a love and an admiration for who you feel is the greatest in the world, you tend to think that they're the best thing in the world. So I think because he feels white is right and the best, that's his position. So because he thinks that they are greater even than himself, that's why he takes that position. So I can see why he would say that based on what I've seen his thought process to be. So it seems to be consistent with him. So I wouldn't expect that to change.
But that is a form of racism within itself, right?
What I'm saying is, in the natural, on earth, we call that racism. What I'm saying is, when he says that there's no racism, I feel that he is looking at it through the lens of how I believe that God wants us to look at the world. It's not a distinction between, oh, it's evil because of this. Evil is just what evil is. So that's he doesn't use the word racism because he takes it as everything is evil and there should be no distinction, because when we keep trying to make distinctions, it gives permissions for certain ones. So that's why I believe his point of view is what it is. I'm not agreeing with it. I'm not trying to defend it. I'm saying that I try to listen so that I can understand why a person is saying the thing that they're saying. Just because he tends to sometimes be a contradiction or being consistent in what he's saying. So I wanted to find out, well, why are you saying this, but it looks like this when you're saying that? And that's just what I take from what I've heard from him. And there's some things I like about Jesse Lee Peterson. So that doesn't mean that to me, I don't even feel like I have to say, oh, I don't like everything about him, or, I'm not a person that says, oh, I'm not perfect. I don't like saying stuff like that because that's just common sense. It's like I'm saying, hey, I blink. I don't have to say, hey, I blink. I blink. So I can appreciate certain things about certain people. And there's some people that I don't even want to take the time to figure out what it is that I could see in you. I just pray to God that he allows me to still pray for them and pray for them to be better and do more to glorify him. So that's just my take on it. But like I said, the only reason that I really came up was because when New Growth went down, I just really wanted him to stay up, because each one of you have some very good points of views, and we all feel passionately about them. And it's just I'm sorry.
Sorry, Sister Nelson. Shout out to Southern Belle.
All right, tighten up, buddy. Okay, but that's all I want.
Thank you for that, Sister Annie.
Okay, y'all, I'm gonna drop back down.
Okay.
Right, stay, please stay. Come on.
Okay. Pagoda. We got to order. We got to order. We going in. Okay, so Sister Annie came in, dropped 2 bombs. Now we got to go Rashawn. Then Black Man Unfiltered came in.
Wait
So
a minute.
before
You said I am talking now. You said it.
no, Pagoda. I said Arshawn, Black Man Unfiltered. Then we're gonna get to you, Pagoda. We're gonna give you a lot of time to go ahead and say what you got to say. So hold on tight, hold on. You know what I mean? Like I was saying yesterday. You know, I said on amusement park. Keep your hands in the vehicle. Keep your hands in the vehicle, Pagoda. Hold on. All right, Sister Annie, I'm gonna bring you down real quick. Let's see. We got Arshawn.
All right. Well, thank you. I'll make this quick, Vagoda, so you can jump in. I just want to what Rico has said right before I stepped off. You are right that we cannot. It's not really fair that Kanye said George Bush doesn't like black people, but he's uplifting Hitler. That is an imbalance that he would have to reconcile. The issue, though, is that we're talking about two different systems of governance, where our presidents are limited to terms and swap out. So if we're talking about the time period that Hitler was in, and you were to compare it to the time period of the U.S. presidency during that time, they would be overlooking similar types of atrocities. We'd be arguing numbers, but the things that happen to people here in the United States, it would be similarly evil, like right here at here. So again, over the time period that Hitler was in power, and I will say, persecuting, killing, murdering, genociding, all that, the rampage. I'll give you that. Right here in the United States, we were having our own forms of atrocities.
Shout out to
So
Bolo TV.
it's comparable to me to make that comparison. Now, again, the second part of this, and I'll step away on this one. In this country right now, white people, black people, Latino people, Asian people are all willing to say, well, black people are only 15% of the population, but they are doing over 50% of the violent crimes. Everybody's willing to have that critique of black people, no matter what demographic. So if that's fair for them to ask of us, it might also be fair for us to ask, well, everywhere the Jewish people go, somebody seems to be persecuting them. Maybe they have an inherent problem. Maybe it's not just us that have an inherent problem. So if we're going to be able to critique one race or culture or group of people based upon numbers and stats and who's against them, well, we got to play fair. We can't keep playing favorites. So they have to be open to the exact same critique, because everywhere they go, somebody's after them. Somebody's trying to get them. Maybe they're a problem. So again, I don't know. But if they are a problem, then that would reframe what was being done to them. Because if they are a problem, then you have to deal with problems a specific way. I don't know. I don't have that lens to know. But I'm saying I know black people get investigated with that lens all the time through mainstream media. Is there something wrong with the black community? All the time. But when it comes to the Jewish community, you just say, oh, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people, which is so vague. And Kanye owns no military. He has no DEFCON to go to. He might go to Comic-Con, but he has no DEFCON. You know what I'm saying? So what are we talking about? So, but I'll step down. I'll let Vagoda go.
No. Vagoda's not going, because we're gonna give Vagoda a little more time. So we're gonna give let Black Man come up. But thank you, brother Rashawn. Appreciate you, man. Don't go away.
Thank you.
All right, Black Man Unfiltered.
Yeah, stick around, Arshawn. Don't go nowhere.
What's going on? What's going on, gentlemen, on the panel today? Arshawn, appreciate you dropping them jewels on Friday, man. Appreciate that.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Brother Clarence, how are you doing tonight, man? Rico, what's going on? Vagoda, what's going on? I want to start with the when you said that when Kanye said George Bush doesn't care about black people. The reason that he said that, at the time, I'm from Louisiana. I was there when the hurricane hit, right? And my daddy was a part of the rescue people there, driving the buses, getting those people out of there, right? As a volunteer, getting those people out of the city. I saw the bodies in the water. I saw people that needed insulin and were not giving them medicine. And they were begging the helicopters. The news helicopters was flying over, videoing all these black people in this urban area screaming for medicine and screaming for food and water, and there was nothing. The streets was blocked off. Kathleen Blanco was the governor at the time, and she put in martial law where you couldn't be out at a certain time. Also, it was a shoot on sight if you were caught in any type of store taking anything that didn't belong to you when people were hungry. It took 5 days. 5 days to get water to New Orleans. 5. Does that seem like a country that cares about their people? But see, then what we have to do is balance it and look over at other countries. When the tsunami happened in another country, the United States was there with the next day. But it took 5 days to get water to New Orleans. I was there. My father was there. My mother was there. It took 5 days. Right? People were dying. There were sheets over people in the street because they didn't get their medicine, or because they died of seizures, or they died of some type of cause. People were starting to get sick because all of the waste, the fecal matter, backed back up into the city and flooded the city in the city water. So people was walking through feces, becoming sick, right? Throwing up and passing out, right? There was no help. There was nothing for 5 days. So when Kanye said that, I do believe that. I do believe that. And I remember Ray Nagin, the mayor of New Orleans, got on the phone and cussed out George Bush, if y'all remember that. He said, "Get your ass down here and do something, goddammit." He cussed him out because he knew these people were dying at an alarming rate. They were. But anyway, that's for that part. But I will say this about Jesse Lee Peterson. Jesse Lee Peterson has been talking about family, the neutral family, the husband, the wife for years. I do think on behalf of, on that part right there, because like I said, you can get good out of anything. When he says about the neutral family, having a neutral family together, I can agree with that. The parts I don't agree with, that I agree with Rico on, Lord, this is a miracle. Me and Rico agree on something. I agree with Rico when Rico is saying that he is, I think God should have, because he's a pastor, so I think God should have given him what he wanted. Jesse Lee Peterson wants to be a white man. And because when you get on a show and you say we don't need to have Black History Month, we need to have White History Month. That's a man that's self-hate. So you're trying to tell people to have love and to embrace love and have a nuclear family, but on the other end you're saying that we should have White History Month because without white people, Black people would be nothing. Then you say racism does not exist. And then you could go on Google right now and look up white water fountains, Black water fountains. I'm from the South. There are still places right now that it's faded out a little bit, but it's still up there that says white only, colored on the other side, right? Because I'm from the dirty South. And so when you say those things, Jesse Lee Peterson, you're contradicting yourself when you're saying that. Then you get on national TV on Dr. Phil and you say those words. You say, we need more white babies because without white babies, the world is nothing, right? We need more white people. So when he says those things like that, that is self-hate. When you look at yourself and you see that you are a Black man in America, but all it's going to take is for him to get his nigga wake-up call. Because that's normally what it always takes. And he has gotten it. I don't know if y'all know about it, but these white boys, the white people that he loves so much, he loves them so much because the sex is good to him when he messing with these white boys. And all these white boys can come forward and say, you didn't have sex with me. I came over your house and you got me drunk and I woke up naked in your bed with you. And you got these 20 white boys coming out saying when you do interviews with them, after the interviews with them, they in there with Vaseline and a chicken card, right? So you in there messing with these white boys. The reason that you love them so much because you love them so much, right? So Jesse Lee Peterson, I can't even because for years on his show he's been downplaying the gay people. When gay people on the show, are you gay? Are you gay? Do you believe a man and a man should be together? For years, that's been his play. And now the chickens have come home to roost. And now he's been caught up in some gay activity, right? And then when it comes to the whole show in its totality, Jesus Christ. Rashawn, you hit the nail on the head when you said, when we talk about 15% of the population, we talk about Black on Black crime. But why is it a Black on Black crime thing when there's white on white crime, Hispanic on Hispanic crime, Asian on Asian crime? No, because Black people are the most popular people to talk about. There's an agenda where black people, I heard somebody say the other day, there's no such thing as redlining. There was no such thing as redlining. Somebody told me that, right? And I'm looking at him like, well, what? There's no such thing as redlining. And then he says there's no such thing as racism, right? There's no such thing as black people being, a system being created against black people. Dude, this is statistical fact. These are facts. These are written facts that there is redlining. There are parts of the city you can go to in each state. And when you drive into it in a blindfold and they pull it off your eyes, you can say who live in this area, and you will be able to believe where you are, that this black people live here. They put all the black people in one spot. Here in Dallas, I'm in Texas now. Here in Texas, there's something called Oak Cliff. Oak Cliff is the South Dallas, right? In South Dallas, there's a liquor store on every corner. There's a payday loans place on every corner. There's homeless black people everywhere that you can imagine, in front of the store, behind the store, in the streets, wherever you can imagine, tents set up everywhere. But then when you go on, there's liquor stores everywhere. When you go on the north side of town, which is Frisco and Allen, on that side of town, there's no liquor stores on the corner. There's no payday loan places. There's no homeless. It's beautiful and clean. And when you run up, when you drive up in there, the houses are nice. People are walking their poodles. And you say, oh, the white people live here. Everything about black people, they know that black people need money. Put the payday loan places on every corner. They know black people are addicted to things. When they get down and out, we know niggas gonna drink. Put alcohol on every corner. So now we're gonna get them high. We're gonna put drugs into the community. We're gonna get them high. We're gonna get them drunk. And when they get high and drunk, they're gonna come for us for money. They're gonna borrow $200, and we're gonna charge them 200% on their $200, and they're gonna owe us $1,500 back.
Black man.
But I'm done.
Black man. Yeah, man, because this ain't the Black Man Unfiltered show where everybody can go on for 30 minutes, man. We got to move the mic around, man.
Right.
You're telling the truth. You're telling the truth, but we gotta what's the time? Because we gotta get out of here because Patrice is coming on in a little while, so we gotta hurry up and get out of here. But hold on, Black Man, don't go nowhere, because now I want to let Pagoda talk and address everybody's points. But shout out to Bolo. I want to have him go after Pagoda. And then we're gonna go running around again. All right, Pagoda.
Okay, I should have taken notes. Okay, first of all, to the guy with the guitar and the fire. When you said that somebody said that he only wants white babies and not black babies, and who you talked about? Kenya? And who you talked about?
I talked about what?
You said something about a guy that says in Dr. Phil's show that he wants only white babies, not black babies.
Yeah,
who is that?
Jesse Lee Peterson said he don't want any black babies. He wants all. It needs to be more
Jesse
white
Lee
babies.
Peters. I don't know who that guy is. I thought that they talked about Kenya, but so never mind that. Okay, Ray, you know what? I'm going to call you Mr. R. I don't know how to say your name correctly. About what you said about Lincoln and Hitler, you know, let's put something important here. In the end of the day, Lincoln, because of Lincoln, there is a free. Lincoln free. In the end of the day, Lincoln free all the slaves. Even if he said later that if he know that he would leave things like they are, if he knew that he's going to such a big war, that's make him an asshole. But still, in the end of the day, he freed the slaves. And you know, unlike him, Hitler, in the end of the day, murdered a lot of people. He persecuted, he robbed the German people of their rights. He turned Germany into a hell on earth. Okay, that's if you want to compare somebody in the same size to Lincoln, if you ask me, then I think a way better candidate will be Churchill. For example, like Churchill, he did fight the Nazis, but in the same time he committed war crimes against Jews. He didn't let Jews migrate to Israel and stuff. Okay, so that's in the end of the day, Churchill is a positive person, but he also did shitty stuff. But unlike him or Lincoln, Hitler, he did. I don't think that I need to explain what all the 6 things that Hitler did to Jews, to gypsies, to gays, and it's very sad that. Okay, bro, you said that I have a lot of time to talk. 2 minutes, come on.
I'm going to give you a lot of time to talk, man. I'm just putting the timer out here, but I'm going to give you a lot of time. I'm just saying, but we can't spend the whole day talking about Hitler. I mean, we got other things we got to talk about. So
Okay.
I hear you. I'm listening to you.
Okay.
We
Then
got
let
a
me
topic
list.
that we're talking about, Pagoda.
Okay. About Kenya, you know what? I will tell you something. You know what? I will tell you positive, at least something positive from that crazy video with Kenya. At least the puppet show we did was a little bit funny, and the voice he did. That's I will admit. But it was crazy. He said that Benjamin Netanyahu wants to take his family away. Come on. He seriously tried to blame all the Jews for the shit that he has with his family. Let's sake. No, this Kenya guy, I hope somebody will take him down. And you know what you said, somebody, I don't remember who, but somebody said here that Kenya is not, it doesn't have an army. He has a lot of followers. He has 7 or 8 million, 18 million followers, more than our Jews today. And some of those followers are going to do some stuff to Jews, unfortunately. He's the stuff that he's saying. I hope too, but from other events, we can learn that the stuff that he's saying right now will have an impact sooner or later. Okay, because of him, because of sickos like Kenya, there's going to be pogroms.
Yeah, but can I respond, Brother Clarence, real quick?
Okay, respond.
No. Because I want Bolo to get in, and then you can respond.
Oh my God!
Then we're gonna go back around the room.
Okay, just let me finish then. Okay,
hey, Brother Clarence, hold on just a second. Brother Clarence, so you won't get struck.
I can just finish, please.
Hold on, just Pagoda, hold on. Brother Clarence, so you won't get struck with this guy right here, Adam Esburn. Go to the bottom right-hand corner and hit that big square and blow it up. So his name will disappear.
Who?
Right down at the bottom down there. Yeah, Adam Esburn, the timer you got up, hit that square at the bottom on your other screen that you got this timer up on and blow it all the way up and it'll take up the whole screen where you won't be able to see it.
Okay.
There we go. All right.
Okay, so that's about the Hitler stuff, and about Kenya. Like I said, this guy is complete nuts, and it's very sad that there are people that literally try to justify what he said. This like I said, Kenya needs to see a psychiatrist. He's not supposed to be on TV, and if I was in your shoes, I would not protect such a person. I think he passed the limit he definitely passed the limit this time and even before. And in general, you know what? I want to ask you something. You can. Let's see what I want to say. You know what? I want to also remind you the pictures and the videos that I sent to you. When you want to do the live chat to talk about
I'm
those.
gonna contact you, man. I'm gonna contact you.
Yeah, but you saw them at least.
Yeah, I saw, but I'm gonna contact you when we can actually have that discussion, right?
Yeah.
I think it's gonna probably be on a Saturday. But we
Yeah,
can't.
but please, but please do it in at least an hour before you. We start today in 9:30, so at least do it in 8:30.
Pagoda. I'm gonna send you an email, everything way before we do it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But I got to run. I got to pass the mic. I can't let one person talk for 45 minutes. I got to pass the mic around, right?
Okay.
Thank you, sir. All right. We're gonna talk to now. We're gonna have Brother Bolo step
and
up.
Please don't call me sir.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Brother Bolo.
What about ma'am? I'm just kidding.
No, not that. Not sir, not ma'am, and not indeed. I'm not a sir. I'm nobody's sir.
That's just a joke, Vagoda.
Sorry, sir.
I know.
All right.
And Merry Christmas.
Let's happy Hanukkah, bro. All right. So, Brother Bolo.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
What's going on, man?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Black man, I told you every time I see you, I'm working on your, so I can do your voice. I'm working on it. No
Oh, you can't do black man? I can do
No, I
black
can't
man.
do black man yet. I'm gonna do
Rico, you rogue. Rico, you rogue. Rico, you rogue.
son, what's
You
going
rogue,
on,
Rico.
brother?
You rogue.
That's not it, brother Clarence. You gotta get better than that, brother. You gotta get professional like me. You gotta be like Bolo. Like, hey guys, wait, I'm here. Go ahead, Bolo.
So let me say
You
this.
rogue, Rico. You rogue.
This is a very
Or we could do the brother Clarence laugh.
this is a very slippery slope, this kind of conversation. It seems that when we bring up atrocities that are brought out, it could go left really quick about who had it worse, who had it worse. I don't typically indulge this conversation, but today I'm going to. There's a lot of people that have been murdered and killed by the hand of one person. But when we talk about the black people, they've been murdered and killed by the hands of many, and still today. When we talk about the slave ship route, there is no number. There's no number to how many died just on the 1.5-year trip here. When we talk about those that were lynched, burned, maimed, at one time they were taking hoses and putting it into women's vaginas and turning them on and watching it burst her stomach. Atrocities goes on and on and on. So this conversation, it separates people quickly, very quickly. Who had what done worse to who? When that's not the conversation we should be having. The conversation we should be having is those things are evil. Period. There is no good in it. Period. It's evil. So I don't want to go in, because again, when we go into who's had it worse, my stand 10 foot down, 10 toes down. No nation has had it worse than blacks, Hispanics, Negroes, West Indians, and Puerto Ricans. No nation on this earth. Let's deal with the Native Americans only for now. We celebrate a holiday based on their murder, on their murder, on a people that welcomed these people with open arms. And they were given smallpox. Their land was taken. So let's not talk about what people get at the worst. The people that have these things done to them, they found justice. In whatever way, some people might think it's small. What justice has been given to the Negroes, West Indians, Native Americans? None. We say that if you've been given a president, that's good enough. So let's not talk about that, because this goes really deep, where you have 5 men up here that are black, that are able to speak articulately but not emotionally, because this is an emotional situation when you talk about this. Because the sadness of it is, when we look at what's going on today, and again, I don't like having these conversations, but since we're having it, there is something called anti-Semitism. Your business gets shut down. You are worth 11 billion, and the next week you're worth 400 million. You don't get that with black people. We're shot, we're raped, we're killed, we're lynched. Still, 2022, and we have to go to court to see what was the situation in which this man or this woman was shot in. It's a bad conversation to have, and it only leads to anger between both sides or whoever's going to talk about it. It leads to anger, because now we start to go into who's this, who's that, or whatever the situation might be. It's all evil, period. The conversation should be all of that is wickedness. Now, Kanye West, there's a few thoughts that go into my mind about him. One, maybe he's under drugs. Maybe his handler, it has him out of control, or maybe he's just bugging the hell out. Or maybe he's just here to gaslight people. Y'all better start looking at the bigger picture, man. Right now, they keep getting us emotional because there's something bigger coming on down the pipeline. They want you to look at the left hand instead of looking at the right hand that's making these laws that's going to set this world government on. And they're not going to give a damn whether you're Jew, black, light skin, dark skin, Asian. They're not going to give a damn because it's about the haves and the have-nots. That's what it's about. Who got and who's trying to get. That's what this whole thing is about. So that's what the focus should be. All these little things that they have us searching on Kanye, whatever. Kanye is tapped into the higher elite. And that's another conversation because there is an elite. There is an elite. Now, some people choose not to go into that conversation, but it's the truth. It's the truth. We're dealing now, whether you want to call them Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, there is an elite. We have Bill Gates at the G2 2013 said that we need to refer to the Georgia Guidestones for this earth to work optimally. I don't know if any of you guys know what the Georgia Guidestones are, but they've since been taken down. But if you go into Google and look up the pictures, these were stones that were in Georgia. And the first law said the world must be dwindled to 500 million people for it to work optimally. And the second law was we must need a one world government and one world language. This is what's going on. And we're talking about Kanye. The way he brought everybody else. Jordan sacrificed people. Bill Cosby sacrificed people, but yet he left himself out and just said his mother was sacrificed. He left himself out conveniently. We better start looking at the bigger picture, please. I mean, we can have these conversations, but what are we doing as people? Coming together to fight wickedness, evil, because that's what this is. Righteousness versus evil. It's not about color. Let's let that go. They make us think it's about color. It's not about color. It's about right and wrong. Love you all, guys. Y'all have a blessed night.
You muted, Clarence.
Bolo.
Yes.
Bolo, when's the next time you're going on, brother? Thank you for that.
All right, we'll be on Monday.
Monday.
Yeah.
Thank you. What time? Hello?
Oh, sorry. Monday. We'll be on Monday. Monday at 7 o'clock through the whole week. And then Wednesday we come on at 9:30 and Friday 9:30.
You talking about PM or AM, sir?
Yeah. Okay. Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. and on Wednesday and Friday, 9:30 p.m.
Okay.
All
Hey,
right.
Bolo, again, thank you for them dimes Friday too, bro.
Yeah, always. Always. Always.
I love you, black man. I told you I'm gonna get your voice, man. I'm gonna crank call people. I'm gonna order stuff and put it in your name and all that stuff. And then I'm gonna call up. I'm gonna call. Why do you have such a
Nice to know.
What Scrooge face you have on your Rico? Rico, smile, man.
Oh, hold on. Will you leave? This is for you.
Oh, lovely. We have Santa Claus over here. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, man. Oh, Sean.
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
Bolo, cover your ears, Bolo. That look like a dildo that's trapped under a hat.
Yo, Sean, man, you are a very articulate brother. You look 8 years old. I don't know what you sleep in. I don't know what kind of formaldehyde you sleep in, but brother, you're doing it because you do not look like you're in your 40s. Have a blessed day, guys. Love you all, man.
You look like you have the ears of the gremlin from the movie The Gremlins.
Hey, look, Clarence, let me ask a question, though. This is what Dolo brought up a super valid point. And I think we all got lost in this whole thing about Kanye. And my point, I think I had the conversation, me and Clarence talked about it earlier, and I was like, we're arguing this. I understand how different people feel about the certain perspective, First Amendment rights, what's going on with Jews, how they look at black. But I was like, we act like Kanye brought this conversation up about anything but himself. The whole crux, when I look at it, when I look at the timeline, and even all the way up till I heard the Alex Jones thing, all he kept talking about was his contracts. So I'm like, so why does everybody have this is some business shit. We shouldn't even care. It goes all the way back because I remember early in the year, he was still with Gap. and they was putting them trash bags full of clothes in the stores. And he was all on a tangent because they wouldn't let him do his clothes in their stores the way he wanted. And that's when he started having all these falling outs with these businesses because I was like, this is some business shit. Why do we care? So what he did was when he started losing, he does what he always does is he goes into trying to make it about the community. He drug us into his personal stuff. He did the same thing when he's going through the divorce with Kim. Now everything's blackety black, but you didn't care before. And that's what I'm saying is I don't care what side of the argument you're on. Kanye ain't the guy to be listening to. So like Bolo said, it's like, that's all he keep. If you go and look through everything he says, he keep bringing everything back to his damn contracts. I wish they would screw me into $2 billion. But I'm like, seriously, dude. And my thing is, and the only other thing I go back, like I told Clarence, I said, if we wanted to make it a collective issue about black people, then we should have checked Kanye ass when he was talking about us, and we let it go. I think he would be $1.5 billion richer because it would have probably regulated him to say, hey, you got to watch how you talking about a group of people. But we let him say thing after thing after thing after thing. My issue with him is about what he said about us. So I'll leave it to Vigo to defend what he said about Jewish people. I'm not Jewish. I'm black. But he has a long laundry list of things that he said about black people that are black related that we should have found problematic, even to belittle us and do this White Lives Matter shit. That's to me, that's a slap in the face. That's just a literal slap in the face to create a White Lives Matter t-shirt. I don't give a fuck who made it. If white people had made it, we would have been marching and raising hell. That was an insult to me. But granted, he has the right to do it. But I think it's totally stupid. It's fucking embarrassing. And it's an insult. And all of this is driven around his poor business. His poor business. He didn't have nobody did nothing to him because he was black. Nobody did nothing. So it's like, no, this was you feel like they cheated you out of your fucking contract. So what? That's a business thing. I don't care. You ain't doing nothing for us. You doing this shit for yourself. That's what I think is law. So if somebody can tell me, okay, give me the social justice movement that Kanye decided that he's gonna bring this shit up today because he was working with the Jews to get that $2 billion. So give me what it was that I'm missing that I'm not seeing where he's doing it for us, because all I see him is doing this shit for him.
Rico, we got off track. We got to get out of here, man. Patrice is coming on in a few minutes, so we got to get out of here, man. Everybody's gonna get a minute to wrap up everything, and we're gonna get out of here. So what I want to do, y'all, is let's finish this conversation Tuesday evening, if we can. All right, we can get everybody to come back Tuesday. We can do a part 2 because we really didn't even get to the meat of Kanye's situation, man. We got off the track talking about Hitler and all that. But okay, so we want to get back and actually just talk about why we as black people are staying on code with people that sometimes we consider their interests our interests, but it's really their interests. It's really just their interests, right? But they don't have no problem backing us backing them. But when we need them to back us, maybe they're not doing it so much. But anyway, that's the discussion we want to get in talking to. We're going to come back here Tuesday night. So if you're here, you're on the stage, come on back Tuesday night, right? Okay, so everybody's going to get a minute. We're going to start with Black Man Unfiltered.
Can I slide out first?
Oh, you want to go ahead, Arshawn. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right. Appreciate you all. Thank you all for having me up here. I appreciate the conversation.
Oh, no problem.
I'm gonna disagree with everybody on the way out. I disagree with Rico. We don't check Kanye. We also don't check Kanye.
You're fading, Arshawn.
Your mic is going out, brother.
We don't hear you good.
Hello.
Okay, you better.
Yeah, now it's
better.
Yeah, now you're
okay.
okay.
Something wrong with my mic. We need to check. We don't need to check Kanye. We also don't need to protect Kanye. We just need to inspect the image. We shouldn't need a whistleblower to have pure intentions. Kanye telling us that he got hurt contracts or whatever. That's how we find out how most mess is going down when somebody has their faucet cut off. I disagree with Bolo that these are different conversations. If you were to ask Kanye, he's pointing at the bigger picture and to the evil, how they've been exploiting and harming a large body of people. And if this actually is a distraction, we've already lost that war. The control has already been stripped from the masses of people. We actually would have to fight back. They don't need the distraction when the people have already shown that we don't take action. We're a lot more happy to put up a hashtag and a profile picture than we are to actually move on something. If we do move, we're walking the streets in a protest, but that's as far as we go. We need to mobilize something more effective to challenge power. And I'm out, y'all. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, Arshawn. Thank you for being on the stage, man. I'm gonna pull you down. Thank you, sir. All right,
I can talk.
Everybody. Yeah, you know what? Matter of fact, you can talk. I'm gonna give you a minute too. All right. So what we're gonna do is what we're gonna do is after this we're gonna go over to knowledge and relationships so we can see Patrice, because Patrice's interview has a good interview coming up. So yeah, man. Shout out to Arshawn, man. Okay, Vagoda, you back in the building, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. At least you don't have the picture of the bum.
No, it's gonna be running in the background. You got 1 minute.
Okay. Well, I had fun. Well, I think about Kanye overall that he needs to be he needs to see a psychiatrist and be hospitalized somewhere, or somebody needs to take him out. One of those two things is going to happen, definitely.
We don't want to say take him out. No, we don't want to say that.
Well, if he's terrorizing Jews, what do you want me to say about him?
He's not terrorizing nobody.
We just expressing his opinion is not terrorizing Jews. Just expressing his opinion.
We will disagree about that, but in any case, have a wonderful night, guys.
Okay.
About
Bye, Vagoda.
Bye.
All right. That's Vagoda. All right. Let's see. Who else is up? Oh, Black Man Unfiltered. Black Man Unfiltered. Let's see. Let's get you in the building, brother. Let's get you set up. All right, Black Man Unfiltered, man. Let's you got the stage, brother.
One of the things I want to say while my minute is flowing, I'll be out here real quick, is that we're focused on everything that Kanye's doing and what he said, and what Vagoda just said was just complete ignorance. When he says that he's terrorizing, listen, just because somebody's speaking something does not mean they're terrorizing anybody. They have the freedom to speak whatever they want to speak. However, if we go do some digging right now, we will see the Jewish community is in charge of a lot of things that are going on in this country that are not fair, or that have been, or they use people just like us to get where they want to be. But that's neither here nor there, because I would love to have a goat on the one-on-one. I'll tear his ass up. But then secondly, I want to say we're focused on Kanye, and we're focused on everything that's going on with Kanye and Kyrie, but we still ain't focused on Brett Favre being connected to $70 million worth of scandal, which I told y'all he wasn't going to go to jail, but we're not focused on that. And Jackson still don't have clean water. Mississippi still don't have clean water, but we focused on a man that owned a clothing company, but not people suffering in Jackson. Bomb drop.
Good point. Maybe we'll talk about that later, man. I hope you can come back on Tuesday, man, if you're not doing the show, and we're gonna do a part 2 on this situation here. Thank you, Black Man. Appreciate you. If you haven't already subscribed to Black Man Unfiltered, get on over there. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna bring you down, man. Okay. Rico, yo. Okay, some last words, man.
Yeah, I'll just say this. If I seem offended by what Kanye says, that's because I am offended by it. And I don't think that necessarily makes me a hit dog. That's the whole purpose of why we're even talking about it. If it didn't bother anybody, we wouldn't even be discussing it. Or what's the point in us discussing it if it's perfectly okay? So I just wanted to say that, I think the narrative, I think sometimes it seems like no one wants us to have any criticism of the brother because he's a brother. And I can't take that away from him. But all my life, I've had tough conversations with people who look like me, the same as I'll have a tough conversation with people who do not look like me. I think what Black Man went out on is very, very true. We should be talking more about Brett Favre and other people that are doing things as well. I don't think we need to take the spotlight off of what Kanye's doing, but it should be equally or more so applied. I think LeBron James in a press conference, and we need to be talking about fucking Jerry Jones and that video, that picture from him, even though it was 65 years ago, trying to block those black kids from getting in high school in Arkansas. And LeBron James was very good about it when he said, y'all are constantly asking me about Kyrie, but why ain't nobody asked me about Jerry Jones and that racist ass picture? And we can talk, but there's a long history of that where no one wants to discuss. The only reason why I give a little bit of caveat, a little bit of difference is Brett Favre got sense enough to shut the fuck up when he's in trouble. I wish brother Kanye would do the same thing. I think he would do himself better if he would just stop talking, but he can do whatever he wants. As y'all all say, that's his First Amendment right. We saw it only cost him a little bit. So continue on talking. I really don't give a shit. But I will lean back on the wheelhouse of, you got to prove to me that he brought this up for us and not himself. Because all I keep hearing is contract. And that's all I got to say about it. If it's contract, that's a you thing, not a we thing.
Yeah. That's an ugly situation, man. All right, brother. I'm gonna pull you down, man.
Yes,
you know that Patrice is over there. I'm gonna put that out there. This is
I'm gonna jump over there.
Okay, I'm gonna put the link out there. Let me see. Let me put the link out there right now. Going over to Knowledge and Relationships. Check out Patrice at her show. All right, let's see. All right, brother. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. I'll pull you down. All right, man. All right, that's Rico, man. I'm glad to have him back, man. Always comes back, hits a home run, right? All right, y'all. I gotta do the rundown. Uh-oh. Patrice is coming on now, dog. All right. So I gotta do the rundown real quick, man. Real quick. All right, let's see. Who did good? Everybody did good. We only had one bot come in today. Shout out to everybody in the chat. All of y'all did a great job. Everybody did a great job, man. Shout out to everybody. Did a great job. The chat is where it's at. The chat, strong performance from the chat. Very solid performance from the chat. Shout out to the chat. All right. All right, y'all. Who was on the panel? We had Brother Bolo was on the panel. What you think about Brother Bolo? Yeah. If you haven't already subscribed to Bolo TV, get your butt on over to Bolo TV, man, because you're gonna need somebody. Von Erich, man, we're gonna have Von Erich be back here on Tuesday, man, because we're gonna finish this discussion. And then you can probably come up here. If you haven't already subscribed to Bolo TV, get on over to Bolo TV. Are you gonna like them? I don't know. I don't see why you wouldn't, but if you don't, you don't. But get on over to Bolo TV and check him out, man. Bolo dropped a lot of bombs on us today, right? Shout out to Bolo, right? I try to keep Bolo out of the, harm's way, but I always got the door open for him if you want to come over here and drop a bomb on us. I always got the door open for him. So he came over here, dropped some bombs on us today. When I say bombs, I actually mean jewels. He dropped some jewels on us, gave us some stuff to think about and put it in perspective, right? Shout out to Brother Bolo TV. So strong performance from Bolo. As always. Very strong performance. Very, very, very solid. Very, very solid. Who else was on the stage today? Rico Young was on the stage today. What about Rico Young? Right? Like Maze used to sing a song, Back in Stride Again. Back in stride again, man. Brother Rico's back in stride again, right? Came back, man, and you jump right back on the bike like he never left, right? Shout out to Brother Rico. But as always, we're gonna give Brother Rico a strong performance. Very, very solid performance, y'all. Very solid performance. Who else is up here? Black Man Unfiltered. Black Man Unfiltered came up. What do y'all think about Black Man Unfiltered? You wrong, Rico. You rogue. Right? I don't think he appreciated my impression of him like I appreciate their impression of me, right? Huh? Huh? What? Huh? Huh? I'm a huh? Right? Man. But shout out to Black Man Unfiltered, man. Hopefully he shows back up because he made some good points. The point about Brett Favre, that was a good point. Had to give him that one, man. But shout out to Black Man Unfiltered. What about Arshawn from Critically Drinking? Holy smokes, man. Youngster came in, man. And dropped jewels, man. Like, he been sitting on panels for all his life, right? He's been sitting on these panels for all his life. But he came through. Remember, everybody, when we get done here, go on over to Knowledge and Relationships. I put it in the link. I put the link in the chat, so you can go on over to Knowledge and Relationships because we gotta go support the trees. Okay, so anyway, yeah, Arshawn came through, man. Made a lot of good points. One of the things I like about Arshawn, man, is Arshawn ain't gonna just come up here and agree with us. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna make his points and he's gonna disagree with us, which I like. What I don't like is if you disagree with us just because you feel this way. I feel this way, but when you would disagree and you can articulate your point to a degree where it makes, at least I can see where you're coming from. I like that. You know what I'm saying? We may not convince each other to change, but I like the fact that people can articulate this, and this is what we doing, man. We sharpen each other up. But yeah, man, Arshawn, yeah, you're right, Sister Eddie. Very strong performance. Very strong, very solid. What about Vagoda? Ouch. Vagoda didn't look so good this time, man. Vagoda was really on his emotional situation, man. But I'm gonna give him a strong performance for that emotional. I can't really say it was solid. It was decent, but it wasn't solid. I can't, because see, when you solid, that means that you at least listening to other people. You're at least considering what they're saying, man. But but we got to work on this dude, Vagoda, man. He's a good dude, but I mean, he got to work on that dude, man. We got to work on that dude, and he shows us why we need to not be so emotional when we talk. Because when we get emotional, we get all emotional about the situation, and we're not listening to what's actually being said and learning anything. Remember, I told y'all yesterday, when you come into a conversation, you got to come into a conversation with the attitude like, I'm going to share some information. I'm going to learn some information. This is going to be exchange, right? Can't come into the conversation, I know everything. I can't believe they saying anything other than what I'm going to tell them, right? And sometimes our brother Vagoda comes in like that, man, where he's like, man, I know, you know what I'm saying? Remember Wile E. Coyote? Now don't try to get away. I'm smarter, faster, and stronger, and I'm a genius. Right? You're like, wait a minute, Vagoda. We all got an opinion. We all can articulate, right? So it's not about coming over here and you just tell us. And just because we mention Jewish people, oh, we ain't got nothing to say. We can't say nothing. Oh, yeah, we got a lot to say. We got a lot of documented information that we can put out there, man. So it's not, it's just who's putting out the truth, right? That's what it all comes down to. Who's putting out the truth? All right, let's see. That was Vagoda, man. So I gave him that. Who else? The young man, New Growth, came on the scene. New Growth came in. Very strong performance. Very strong. Came in kind of hot. Rolled out kind of hot, right? But I'm still going to get, but he's always solid. Always solid dude, right? You know what I'm saying? And he will just, he will dismiss himself if he feel like he can no longer be respectful. One thing I got to give it to the young brother, man, he will just say, you know what? I'm not going to sit up here and disrespect anybody. Let me get off the stage. And so that's why I don't be like, no, New Growth, stay. I know New Growth well enough to know that New Growth knows his own personality. And sometimes, and I know this, sometimes that fire in you, when you're a soldier like that, when that fire can overtake you, and you got to say, no, you know what I'm saying? Because my intention is not to hurt people. My intention is just to, but let me get out of here before I say something. way crazy, right? So I understand that about New Growth, man. Shout out to the young soldier, man. But solid performance, very strong performance from New Growth, and of course our sister NA. What do y'all think about Sister NA? Holy smokes, man! Came through, man. The voice of reason, right? The voice of reason, right? Came through, man. Just said, put it down. I was looking at it with a side eye. She said, Jesse said some things I could do. I said, ooh, Sister Henny. I said, but hey, man, we all can find something in somebody, right? We all can find something in somebody. I may not see what you see, right? I may not see what you see, but you got the one thing is you got the right to see what you want to see and who you want to see. Just like Kanye got the right to see what he say. Even though I say, hey, you can't find it. To me, there ain't nothing in Hitler that's redeemable, right? Nothing in him. But that's me. Well, a guy like Kanye West could say, hey, you know what? I think the fact that the guy did X, Y, Z, but me, I'm always looking behind what's done, but the intent. What was the intent for? You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes me look at things the way I look at things. I try to go to the root of why this person did this. Yeah, this person did this good thing, but why did they do it? To cover up the evil thing that they were about to do. Oh, well then I can't give them credit for the good they did because they only did that to throw you off from the fact that they did this evil. They was doing this evil thing, right? But anyway, we get to that later. Shout out to Sister Annie. Absolutely outstanding job. Everybody that came on the panel, a strong performance by Sister Annie. Very solid. Very solid. Everybody was very solid, man. Almost everybody. Most of us were very solid. Very strong performances by everyone. So now this is what we're gonna do, y'all. We 10 minutes late. Gotta get over there to knowledge and relationships. Let me put the link out there again. This is the knowledge and relationship link. That is where Patrice is right now. We gotta go. You guys go over there and support Patrice. I'm on my way over there right now as well. Sister say, Brother Clarence, just because I can see or see some good doesn't mean I'm campaigning to be their best friend or a discount in other ways. I know, Sister Annie. See, you a good person, man. You got a good heart. You want to see, you're the butterfly, and and I got some butterflies too. But see, if you move funny style, man, I have no problem taking you in the back room and dealing with you. I have no problem. I've been doing it. I have no problem doing that, man. I have no problem doing that. So bless your heart. You just so sweet. And so I want you to stay sweet like that. Stay sweet like that. That's why me and you, we are pair made in heaven, right? You're the nice, sweet person that, wouldn't hurt a butterfly. For me, I would reach right in and pull your heart right out, throw it right there in front of you. And if you do something crazy, if you outside of righteousness and you are going to be a problem for the group, have no problem. Off with your head. Whoosh. I have no problem. Give me the machete. Woof. Right. All right, y'all. I love all of y'all, man. Hey, okay, so this is what we're gonna do, y'all. We're gonna meet over here at Patrice. Go click over there right now. Go on over to Patrice. We're gonna finish this discussion on Tuesday if we can. We're gonna try and finish this discussion on Tuesday. And Sister Annie, be looking for me on Tuesday because I'm gonna contact you about we gotta get these backpacks, man. I don't know if we're gonna be able to do it by Christmas, but we'll see if we can. The Jill Peel's in the house. Jill Peel in the house. Shout out to, and if I didn't catch you today, anybody in the chat, Blaze Brown, shout out to you. Glad to have you in the building. If I didn't catch you in the chat today, it's my fault. I was dealing with so much stuff, especially with the discussion and with the Bogota situation, man. I was trying to bring it back on track of what we was actually talking about, but then we got off the rails again. I gotta work on that. Yeah, Sister Annie, man. I'm gonna, I'm saying, I would be, I'm gonna be like, hey, Sister Annie, can you run up the street and go get us something while you gone? Zoom, zoom, zoom. Right? I mean, like Zorro in there, right? You come back. What happened to him? Where'd he go? He's gone. He's no longer with us. You gonna tell me where he's at? Nope. He's just gone. I wouldn't even implicate you in the situation. All right, so let's go over there. Let's go be with let's go support Patrice, and then we'll maybe I think Bolo said he ain't coming on tonight, but I think the intellectual soapbox is coming on tonight. So we got a heavy day today. So let's get moving, y'all. All right, I will see y'all on Tuesday. Thank everybody for hanging out with us today. Appreciate y'all. Peace.